This story begins. And we see a beautiful place, and the name of this place is Tianmen. Also we see a man at this place, who is standing on the top of this mountain, looking at the beauty of this place. His name is Lin Fan. And some girls are secretly watching him, and Lin Fan is saying, I raise my head and gaze at the bright moon, lowering my head, I think of my hometown. And seeing him, all the girls are getting very attracted, and one of them says, it's here, the prince has started reciting poetry again. Then the other girl says, the prince not only excels in cultivation but also demonstrates remarkable proficiency in poetry and literature. Such exquisite poetry, it truly touches one's heart. And there is another girl with them, who is saying, but it's clearly daytime now, where does the bright moon come from? Why does it sound a bit pretentious? But after listening to him, those three girls start getting angry at him and saying, you newcomer know nothing. And the other girl says, exactly, the prince's literary talent is not something you can do. Comment on. Little Heisey, right? And after listening to his words, the girl is very shocked and is unable to say anything. Then suddenly Lin Fan comes to that place and stops all those girls. Then he tells them, we are all fellow disciples of the same sect, why let a tiny matter disrupt our harmony? Are you all right, junior sister? And after listening to Lin Fan's words, the girl becomes very surprised and she says to Lin Fan, I am fine, thank you for your concern, your highness. At the same time the girl is thinking, he's so gentle. The prince's hand. It's so warm. This feeling is like holding my father's hand when I was a child. And Lin Fan is saying to the girl, this junior sister seems a bit unfamiliar. Are you a new disciple? And the girl is thinking, he's so close, his breath so warm. What should I do? I can't even look at him directly, my mind is completely scrambled, I can't think at all. And the girl says to Lin Fan, yes. That's right. Then Lin Fan says, I see. If you encounter any difficulties, feel free to come to me. My residence is on Cloud Conceal Peak. By the way, what's your name? So the girl says, Li Roland, if your highness doesn't mind, you can call me Roland. And Lin Fan says, Roland. That's a beautiful name. I'll remember you. Then Lin Fan starts leaving this place and while leaving says to the girl, I'll remember you. If you encounter any difficulties, come find me at Cloud Conceal Peak. And when Lin Fan leaves, we see two girls, who are jealous over that girl, and they are saying, the prince actually called her by her name. Damn it, jealousy can make people lose their composure. And that girl is imaging about Lin Fan and thinking, it is said that the prince began cultivating qi at the age of 3, formed his dan at 6, and was taken as a disciple by the ancestor of Tianmen at 12. I always thought he was a cold and aloof man. Prince, are you really this gentle? Father, it seems that joining the Tianmen is the greatest blessing for your daughter. She has found. After some time, Lin Fan comes near his house. Then he closes the door, and starts looking around. And when he is confirmed that there is no one around, he heaves a sigh of relief. Then he laughs a wicked laugh and says, with just a few tricks, I can charm thousands of girls. It seems the strategies from those satisfying novels I read on Earth in my previous life work just as well in this world. If things continue like this, I will conquer the entire Tianmen. No! Even there won't be no problem in conquering the whole world. Oh! My spirit of adolescent self-consciousness is burning fiercely. But then someone hits him on the head with a hammer. And the system comes to that place, which is the system of this Lin Fan. And the system is speaking to Lin Fan, the system has detected improper conduct of the host. So the system issues a warning regarding the host's improper behavior. Host, please be mindful of your reputation and refrain from actions that may damage yours favorability points. And Lin Fan says to the system, you're being too harsh. But it doesn't make any difference to the system. And Lin Fan is thinking, you guessed it right, this seemingly harmless little thing isn't the Lord of the Ring, but my system. I, Lin Fan, am a traveler who called a strange phenomena and stirred up the world upon my birth. A holy child descends from the heavens. Truly, God's blessing to our Tianmen. Legend has it that the ancient stars are reincarnated, nurtured by heaven and earth. I have only read about it in ancient texts. Never did I imagine such a thing could be true. The future of this child is boundless, he may even ascend to the throne as an emperor. I have decided to take him as my disciple and appoint him as the prince of the Tianmen from this day forth. Unlike other time travelers, when I first time traveled, I had no memories of my previous life. It wasn't until recently that I recovered memories from my past life, and realized my identity as a time traveler. Before that, I was simply a young cultivator in the cultivation world, devoted solely to cultivation. I'd broken through, and at the age of 12, I was personally accepted as a disciple by Tianmen's ancestors, and I was chosen by a master. From now on, you are my disciple. Is that the ancestors? It should be. I saw the esteemed ancestors once when I was 8 years old. While practicing a hand, I accidentally blew up the furnace. In my misfortune, I regained memories of my past life. That's when I realized that little figure who had been guiding my cultivation all along was actually the essence of the system itself. Congratulations to the host for successfully activating the system. When the host increases others' favorability towards you can exchange for massive system rewards. Increasing favorability of others towards me? So easy. Then Lin Fan says to the system, "Alright, system, enough fooling around. Quickly check how much favorable I gained just now, and don't even think about withholding my reva right away." But the system tells Lin Fan, "When you were younger, you were quite adorable. How did you become like this after regaining your memories?" And hearing this, Lin Fan gets angry and says to the system, "You've got a lot of nerve to say that. When I was younger, I always thought you were the old man inside the ring. You didn't even bother to remind me to help regain my memory. Do you find it amusing to treat the host like a monkey, huh?" Then the system innocently tells Lin Fan, I did this for the sake of the host's growth and experience. Relying too much on the system isn't a good thing either. Okay, the total favorability gained just now. Heartfelt admiration. And seeing this, the system is thinking, this Li Rulin, her favorables suddenly reach 100. She's the first character to reach a favorability of 100 towards the host. I've just had a brilliant idea. After this, Lin Fan is thinking, I always feel like I've been fooled. Fortunately, she didn't mention senior brother. See the content on this paper. They might think have a penchant for same-sex relationships. And Lin Fan throws away the thing in his hand and he says, forget it, and the system tells Lin Fan, what are you doing? I clearly wrote it so well. But Lin Fan goes straight to sleep without paying much attention to the system, and he says, well, let's sleep now, and think about it tomorrow when I wake up. Next day we see a man standing outside Lin Fan's house. And he hears a voice from outside and he is saying, Xiao Fan still hasn't woken up. Today is the 7th day, and on this day every month, I must present his cultivation report to the Ancestor. The Ancestor is in seclusion for cultivation and has limited time for meetings, so I cannot afford any delays. Never mind, Xiao Fan must have been too diligent in his practice and overslept. I'll go get it myself. Then he goes inside to see Lin Fan. Then he sees that Lin Fan is still sleeping. And seeing this he starts laughing. Then he goes ahead and starts checking something and he is saying, looks like Xiao Fan had it prepared already. He just hadn't managed to seal it in the envelope yet. Oh well, I'll present it to them Ancestors as is. And then he finds something, seeing which he is thinking, underneath the cultivation report, this should be presented to the Ancestor. Wait a moment, the content here, Xiao Fan actually harbors such thoughts towards the Ancestor. Vigor, it's not surprising for him to have such thoughts. This matter is of utmost importance. I must promptly inform the Ancestors and await their decision. Then the man leaves this place very fast. And we see the system, which is getting very happy and it is thinking, the plan is set. After this the scene shifts, Tianmen Forbidden Land, Tianzhu Peak. Then we see the sect master and a letter comes to her. Looking at it she is saying, considering I've been in seclusion for over 3,000 years, I only have time to review sect affairs and external intelligence on the 7th day of each month. It's just that recent intelligence has become increasingly boring. It's all mundane matters. It's simply a waste of precious youth. Earth-shattering gossip. Zhuge Ling, a third-generation disciple of Qingyun sect, formed a Taoist couple with the junior disciple of Manhwa sect during their adventures outside, and betrayed their sect. The Qingyun sect is one of the 8 major orthodox disciples of Qingyun sect in this generation. Having committed such a disgraceful act, I can imagine the elders of the Qingyun sect fuming with rage. It's truly amusing. Thankfully, the Tianmen sect has long established a decree against engaging in romantic relationships, to avoid such disgraceful incidents that would truly embarrass us in front of the world. Shocking. The Grand Master of the Sword sect is suspected to have a penchant for same-sex relationships. He was often seen exchanging secret letters with the leader of the Hundred Flowers Valley, the sworn enemy of the Sword sect. Eventually, he was ambushed and killed by experts from both sects in the depths of the Broken Back Mountain, leaving behind the eternal masterpiece laughing proudly across the 3 realms. Shocking! Terrifying! The Supreme Elder of the Bagua sect in his tribulation crossing and, on the brink of death, revealed a shocking secret. The esteemed senior elder was secretly in love with a newly recruited female disciple of the Bagua sect. Shang Guanqing, the head of the Shangguan family, had a clandestine affair with his first love, the sect leader of the Yenye sect, resulting in his murder by his legitimate wife. In a quest for revenge for her lover, the sect leader of the Yenye sect slew Shangguan's wife. However, her whereabouts are unknown after taking Shangguanqing's corpse away. Alas, the cultivators of today are indulging more and more in frivolous pursuits. These mundane gossips truly disrupt my tranquility. What's the point of the sect's intelligence department if they can't gather some useful intelligence? Consider our 3 founders of the Tianmen sect. The second brother, with the most outstanding talent, was ensnared by a woman. When he reached the pinnacle of cultivation, his inner demons emerged, leading to his demise. And the eldest brother once said, with no woman in them heart, the sword naturally attained divinity. In the end, he attained enlightenment with his sword and ascended to become an immortal. After the passing of the second brother, I established a decree: no disciple of Tianmen shall be ensnared by love or emotion. Though this decision was met with misunderstanding and garnered much criticism, I bore the weight of those accusations unwaveringly. But how could they possibly understand? I only did it for their benefit, to ensure they wouldn't waste their precious youth. Alright, let's take a look at the intelligence within the sect. Reporting to the Ancestor, Disciple has recently made some progress in cultivation and has successfully broken through to the realm of great power, and reached the 3rd realm of Tianyuan. Li Kursin, it seems that choosing Xianer as the sect leader back then was not wrong. In just 100 years she has broken through from the nascent soul realm to the realm of great power, and now she has even reached the 3rd realm of Tianyuan. The future is limitless. With Xianer leading the Tianmen sect and the emergence of Fanner as a rising star, even if I ascend to immortality in the future, Tianmen will thrive under their protection without me. Right, it's also time to review the report submitted by Fanner. Reporting to the Venerable Ancestor, a disciple recently encountered a stroke of luck and made rapid progress in cultivation. I have achieved a breakthrough and reached the middle stage of the nascent soul realm. As expected of a holy child descended from heavens, his talent is even more outstanding than that of Xianer, and they far exceed mine from years past. Fanner is the most outstanding junior disciple of our Tianmen sect. In the future, he will surely ascend to immortality and protect our Tianmen for 1,000 years. I must pay more attention to him in the future. Wait, did Fanner submit 2 reports? What's in this one? It seems a bit crumpled. Oh, it turns out to be a thank you letter. I didn't expect Fanner to be quite good at praising others. Hold on, this line. Since childhood I have admired you from the bottom up. My heart. Seems a bit off, doesn't it? This line, willing to share the same bed and pillow with you, enjoying each other's company through the long night, is so audacious. It's literally disrespectful. And this, bathing together in the same pool, meeting each other with sincerity, is completely outrageous. Oh, right, my second brother once left a similar letter in my room, and the content bears striking similarities. It was a love letter he wrote to a girl he admired secretly. After I found it, I returned it to my second brother. Hold on. Could this be a love letter? I never expected that Fan would harbor such inappropriate feelings towards me. Fan is the most outstanding disciple of our Tianmen sect. How could he fall into such temptation? No, I must put an end to this immediately, and sever this bad relationship. I hope Fanner can find his way back from this misguided path. Someone come here. After this we see Lin Fan's room, and now Lin Fan is awake. And when he looks ahead, the door is open and he's saying, The door is open, could someone have with me? My cultivation report. Could Senior Chen have already been here? And then the system tells Lin Fan, while you were sound asleep, that Senior Chen of yours had already paid a visit. Oh, and to assist the host, I also had your Senior Chen take away that letter you tossed aside yesterday. And Lin Fan gets very shocked after hearing this. Then he grabs hold of the system and angrily tells it, What? System, are you trying to mess with me? Didn't I throw that things away? You, be honest, did you do this intentionally, or was it an accident? And the system says to Lin Fan smilingly, It was intentional. I left a bit of suspense to better showcase the difficulty of the task. And Lin Fan says to the system, You really got me there. But thankfully, since the letter wasn't signed, Senior Chen shouldn't jump to any conclusions about me. But the system is thinking, should I tell the host that I might have actually? Let's just forget it. Give the host personality. If he find out the truth, he might just pack up and leave. And then a man comes to that place and tells Lin Fan, the Emperor's son Lin Fan's, to obey the order. Summon yourself before the venerable ancestors. And Lin Fan gets surprised after hearing this, and he is thinking, the best way to deal with difficulties is to face them head on. Keep going, host! After this the scene shifts, Tianzhu Peak Mountain Trail. And Lin Fan is being taken away by 2 guards, and Lin Fan is thinking, Venerable Ancestor, just summon me directly, a simple notification would be enough. But why? Am I being escorted by the shadow guards? I am the Emperor's son of Tianmen. I am not a prisoner. Then Lin Fan asks a guard, Senior brother, I wonder what the reason for their summons from the venerable ancestors. Could you please give me some insight? So he says to guard Lin Fan, We, the shadow guards, only follow orders and never inquire about the reasons. Your Highness, please proceed quickly. And hearing this, Lin Fan starts getting a little worried, and he is thinking, Wah, it is indeed the most mysterious department of Tianmen, and there is a chill in every word. Then he comes near a big door with guard Lin Fan. Then both of them make loud noises, reporting to the venerable ancestors, Emperor's son Lin Fan has been brought here. Then the door opens and a voice comes from inside, allowing the Lin Fan to enter. You may withdraw now. Then Lin Fan starts going inside, and while leaving he is saying, My venerable ancestor, the master has always been reclusive. Although we have the master-disciple relationship, most of my cultivation has been guided by the sect leader instead of my master. Come to think of it, the last time I saw her was 2 years ago. And as Lin Fan goes ahead, he knows his master sitting above. Then Lin Fan says to the master, Disciple Lin Fan pays respects to the master. And she says to Master Lin Fan, No need to be polite, come up, Fanner. Then Master Lin Fan starts flying in the air. And she brings him to herself, then she asks Lin Fan, I have some questions to ask you in person. And the master is thinking, having not met for 2 years, Lin Fan appears to have matured somewhat, and his appearance has become even more handsome. Hold on, what am I thinking? Then Lin Fan is asking the master, Master, are you feeling unwell? If you're feeling unwell, Master, we can postpone our meeting to another day, please take care of yourself. And she says to Master Lin Fan, Ahem. I've already reached a state where no illness can affect me. There's no such thing as feeling unwell for me. And Lin Fan says laughingly, You're right, but the master is thinking, it's all because of the strange things you wrote, kid. Then Lin Fan says to the master, But master, what are the questions you want to ask me in person? Is it really necessary to make such a big deal out of it between Lisa's master and disciple? And after hearing this, the master starts getting more angry and she is thinking, You're still trying to act with me. How come I didn't notice this kid had such talent in acting before? And she says to Lin Fan, Lin Fan. You know. But then she stops herself and she's thinking, hold on, if my tone is too harsh, it might backfire and affect Lin Fan's state of mind. Besides, Lin Fan is young and inexperienced, at an age where mistakes are common in matters like these. As a master, it's important to understand Lin Fan's true feelings. Perhaps he was just acting on impulse, and Lin Fan is saying to the master, I know. Know what? Master, why didn't you continue speaking? So she says to Master Lin Fan, as your master, I wanted to say, do you know that today is my 3000th birthday? But Master is getting a little nervous and she is thinking, what the fuck am I even saying? And when Lin Fan hears this, he gets shocked, then he says, is this true? At the same time he is watching the master carefully and he is thinking, but I never imagined that the master is already 3000 years old. My goodness, you look completely like a girl in her 20s. This leg. Such a sexy figure. This face, is she really 3000 years old? And the master is saying, so now that you know the master's age, what are your thoughts? But she is thinking, well, I'll have to reason with him first and slowly get Lin Fan to give up his thoughts about me. That's the only way to put an end to this once and for all. Opinion or the master changed? And Lin Fan is surprised and says, how come? The master's youthful appearance is quite impressive. After learning the master's age, my admiration for the master has only increased. And after hearing this, the master becomes even more shocked, and she is thinking, admiration increased even more? And Lin Fan is thinking, so that's it. It seems that the master called me here this time to teach me the art of preserving youth. No wonder it's so mysterious. Then she says to Master Lin Fan, do you really not mind the age of your master? And she is thinking about Master Lin Fan. Could it be that he always likes older people? What kind of strange preference is this? Then she says to Master Lin Fan, although my appearance is already 3000 years old. And Lin Fan says to the master, how could I dislike master? My admiration for master will not waver in the slightest because of this. Rather, if master can be open with his disciple, the disciple would be overjoyed. At the same time Lin Fan is thinking, is the master afraid that I'll say she's acting young despite her age? If I show any aversion, master might not teach me the art of preserving youth. Humph, I'm not that foolish. I must flatter master and get hold of this art of preserving youth. But now the master starts getting angry and says to Lin Fan, right, I understand your intentions. And Lin Fan is saying, the disciple's determination will never change. And he is thinking, hurry and teach me the art of preserving youth. With this technique, won't it be a breeze to charm the ladies in the future? But then the master places his sword on Lin Fan's neck. And seeing this Lin Fan gets very shocked, and he is thinking what plot direction is this? But then Lin Fan's attention falls on the letter written by him, seeing which he becomes very shocked, and he is thinking, that is. Damn. I'm fucked. And she says angrily to Master Lin Fan, as a disciple of the Tianmen sect, are you aware of the consequences of breaking the prohibition? And Lin Fan is very scared, and he is thinking, could it be that the master thinks I wrote her a love letter? No wonder the conversation just now. Dead. I'm dead for sure. System, what have you done? Thousands of years ago. The mountain behind Tianzhu Peak. Master is saying, Big Brother has ascended, leaving Tianmen sect to me alone to manage. Though I am only half a step away from becoming an immortal, this half step might be a chasm I cannot cross in my lifetime. Alas, becoming an immortal. What exactly? Am I still lacking? Tianmen's Rule 36. Those who violate Tianmen's prohibition shall have all their cultivation abolished and be expelled from Tianmen sect. Lin Fan, as a disciple of mine and also the Emperor's son, I can give you another chance. If you can repent in time, I, as your master, may let you off the hook and exempt you from the punishment for violating the prohibition. Just after that, I will erase a portion of your memories to prevent you from straying again. And Lin Fan is thinking, erasing memories? Wouldn't that require probing my memories first? With master's cultivation, indeed, it's possibility. But if that happens, won't my secrets be exposed? No. I can't let it come to that. I must take a risk. Then Lin Fan says to the master, let me off the hook? Master, am I, Lin Fan, the kind of man who easily backs down? My feelings and admiration for you won't end so easily. If denying my feelings is the only option, then it would be better for you to kill me now. And the master says, what? What nonsense are you spouting? And Lin Fan is saying, I'm not spouting nonsense, master. Every word I say comes from the heart. Master, have you ever considered that you've been in seclusion for thousands of years, yet your cultivation hasn't progressed at all? The reason behind this, do you really not understand at all? And after listening to Lin Fan's words, the master is a little surprised and she is saying, reason? What reason? You, a nascent soul cultivator, what do you know? Stop spouting nonsense. So Lin Fan tells, because you lack love. You don't understand what love truly is. Love can bring boundless strength to people, because love knows no bounds. And even the master gets surprised after hearing this and she says, love, no bound? However, even if you love me, I don't love you. Moreover, there's a vast difference in our status. How could we possibly love each other? You're simply indulging in fantasy. It's absurd. But Lin Fan says, I understand it all. I'm not worthy. But I must speak my heart. Since ancient times, love has surpassed hatred, and this longing knows no end. If I don't speak my heart today, 10,000 years from now, I will deeply regret not saying these words. And after listening to Lin Fan's words, something starts happening to the master, and she says, what? What words? Then Lin Fan says, there was once a sincere feeling in front of me, but I didn't cherish it. I only regretted it when I lost it. If God gave me another chance, I would tell that girl I love you. If there has to be a time limit on this love, I hope it'll be underscore 1,000 years. And tears start falling from Lin Fan's eyes, but Lin Fan is pretending to cry. He is emotionally blackmailing the master. But we see that tears start falling from the master's eyes too. And because of this, a lot of spiritual energy starts accumulating at that place. And it is because of this reason that the master has made his breakthrough. Then we look outside, where many disciples are watching all this happen. And one of the elders says, that's it. Immortal chi fills the body. And the second elder says, the immortal chi gathers at the peak of Tianzhu Peak. Finally broken through to that realm? And we see the master, who has made a breakthrough. Also her appearance also changes and she is thinking, it turns out that what I lack, it's love. It turns out that all the paths I took before we all wrong, if it weren't for Fanna's sincere feelings, I'm afraid wouldn't have broken through the great emperor realm. And Lin Fan is very shocked and he is thinking, what's happening? Where am I? Who am I? What's going on? Is the master enraged? What's with all this commotion? It's terrifying. Hey! Big sis, could you speak first? I'm done for. Is this really happening? The flirting tricks that I learned back then from TV dramas are really garbage. It's over. My journey through time and space has come to an end. Damn it. But then the master kisses Lin Fan and seeing this Lin Fan is also very surprised. Then the master shyly says to Lin Fan, you fool, you're still calling me master. And after hearing this, Lin Fan is very shocked and he is thinking, it's happening. Could it be? Is it a success? Then she says to Master Lin Fan, however, I merely agreed to give you a chance. Your current level of cultivation is still far from enough to marry me. Although I don't care about worldly opinions, my cultivation has already broken through. In less than 10 years, this realm will forcibly ascend me. If you cannot become immortal, how can you marry me? If you truly love me like you say, then I'll trust you for now, because I don't want to leave myself with regrets for thousands of years to come. And Lin Fan goes closer to the master and holds him, then says, of course, master, no Yanran. I will definitely work hard to catch up with you and become a man worthy of you. Also Lin Fan is thinking, phew, I didn't expect my ancestor, who's lived for 3,000 years, could be so easily deceived. I thought my life was about to end right there, but it feels like I'm actually starting to like her a bit. Is it just my imagination? After this, the scene shifts to Tianmen Square. We see that a lot of people gather at this place. And we see a girl who is saying, "The sect leader suddenly summoned all of us, the disciples of the 3 generations. What major event has occurred in the sect?" And the other man says, "No idea. But when I received the summon message, I was in the middle of a battle with the Aliening Realm demonic beast, nearly even matched. I was close to defeating it. If it weren't for the sect leader's summoning message, I might have already tamed a Yuaning Realm demonic beast." But then a girl silences him and tells him, "Stop bluffing. You're evenly matched with everyone. Just 2 days ago, I saw you stealing the opportunity of the Sword Sect's junior sister and getting caught by the Sword Sect people and beat up. If it weren't for me saving your ass, you would have been done for." And the man says to the girl, "Sister Zhao, how can you tarnish someone's innocence like that? If it weren't for your interference, I still had a chance to retaliate against them." Then we see an elder. It seems like these 3rd-generation disciples have been through quite a lot. Then the elder tells all the disciples, "Dear disciples of Tianmen, you've all been working hard, with most of you still out gaining experience. The sudden summons to return is because our sect has some great news to share with everyone." And hearing this, the red-haired girl becomes very happy. And we see this guy, who's thinking, "Great news? It's not Junior Brother Lin and our ancestor, is it? Oh my goodness! Awesome, Junior Brother Lin." Then the elder further states, "Alright, I won't keep you in suspense any longer. Our sect's ancestors has been in seclusion for many years, and at last, she has broken through to the realm of the great emperor, on the verge of ascending to immortality. Our ancestor has already sent word to me. They will emerge from seclusion today, and from now on, all 3rd-generation disciples' training will halt. Our ancestors will conduct teachings personally to enhance everyone's cultivation. Today, I've gathered you all to welcome our ancestors' emergency. I hope all 3rd-generation disciples will perform well and leave a good impression on our ancestors." And the girl with red hair says, "What? That rumored ancestor is really emerging from seclusion? And going to teach us? They're considered the pinnacle powerhouse of the entire continent." And the little girl says, "The ancestor? Apart from the sect leader and Brother Fan, no one has ever seen them. Are they male or female?" Then the second elder says, "Okay, you little kids, hold your excitement, the ancestor is coming." And we see that bright lights start shining in the sky, and the master comes to that place, and Lin Fan is also with him. And seeing that the master has come, the elder says, "The ability to turn spiritual energy into a rainbow, something only said to be achievable by immortals. What a terrifying cultivation level. Is that true? Our Tianmen's ancestors?" And the little girl says happily, "Wow! The ancestors look so stunning. And my brother Lin Fan is quite handsome too." Then the elder greets the master and says, "Disciple Li Kersen respectfully welcomes the ancestors' emergency from seclusion." And all the disciples greet the master and say, "Respectfully welcome the ancestors' emergence from seclusion." And the other elder is saying to Lin Fan, you. How can you be so disrespectful? We're all here to respectfully welcome the ancestor, and yet you're still standing there?" But Lin Fan doesn't know how to say anything. Then the master says, "Well, I only asked you to gather the 3rd-generation disciples. I didn't say you needed to welcome me with such grandeur. We, Tianmen, have never been bound by formalities. Everyone, please stand up." And the elder says, "Yes. Ancestors, forgive me. Did you hear that? Stand up quickly." Then the master says to the elder, "You've done an excellent job. In my absence, Jiaovi managed Tianmen exceptionally well and haven't neglected your cultivation either. The reason for my emergence from seclusion this time is to lay a solid foundation for Tianmen before my ascension. I don't want Tianmen to decline in my absence after I ascend. Xiner, besides conducting my teachings, you should cooperate with the elders to promptly devise methods to elevate the disciples' cultivation. Also, even though training has been suspended for now, I don't want the disciples to neglect practical combat. Having been in seclusion for many years, I'm not adept at managing sect affairs. I'll still rely on you and the elders to take care of these matters diligently." And the elder says, "However, if we don't engage in practical experience, improving combat skills requires interaction and sparring with other sections. Tianmen have always been assertive, and we've offended many sects. I'm afraid they might not be willing to cooperate. And the master says, what are you afraid of? The energy of my breakthrough can be sensed by any powerful cultivator. Once those sects learn of my emergency from SECU's Oho challenge us, you can rest assured. Proceed boldly. Anyone who dares to provoke Tianmen or refuses to cooperate, I will personally deal with them. And the elder says, yes, bastard. And the elder is thinking, Master, you truly exude dominance. Then she says to Master Lin Fan, by the way, there's Lin Fan, he's not exempt from this. If any third-generation disciple surpasses Lin Fan in cultivation, he'll lose his status as the crown prince. Any third-generation disciple who outperforms Lin Fan will be instantly appointed as the crown prince, and become my direct disciple. And the girl with red hair is feeling very happy. And this man is thinking, what does the ancestor mean by this? Is he planning to put junior brother Lin on the spot? It's hard to. And the little girl is thinking, don't worry, brother Lin only one crown prince, Ano that's you. I won't let anyone jeopardize your position. Linger will be your strongest supporter. After this the scene shifts, inside the Tianmen's Lingxiao pavilion, and we see Lin Fan, who is banging his head on the table, and he is saying to the master, Yanran, are you trying to make me a target of everyone? And those glances from the third-generation disciples? They look at me like I'm their prey. So master says to Lin Fan while drinking tea, stay composed. Fanner, I'm just giving you a chance. If you want to match up to me, it's impossible without improving yours cultivation. You've seen the elders' attitudes toward you, haven't you? And Lin Fan is thinking, my current cultivation level really doesn't match up with Yanran's. If I show too much intimacy in front of others, it does make Yanran feel a bit awkward. Okay, I will become a young talent in this world, until one day, I will openly announce my relationship with you to everyone. And the master says, that's right, you're the man I've set my sights on. Lin Fan, rest assured, as long as you're willing to work hard, with yours talent and my assistance, it won't take thousands of years for us to relate in the immortal realm. And Lin Fan is thinking, while Yanran and I may have a significant gap in cultivation, as someone who has awakened the system, my starting point is incomparable to others. And he says, no, that's too long. Lin Fan, don't aim for the distant future. I seize the present. 10 years. That's sufficient. In 10 years, I'll ascend alongside you. In the immortal realm, I'll overcome all challenges for you. And hearing this, the master gets surprised, and Lin Fan goes closer to the master and says to him, with you within 10 years, I'll perish and vanish, with heaven and earth as my witnesses. Yanran, I hope you can give me a little more courage. And the master says, what? Courage? So Lin Fan says, stop talking and close your eyes. And the master says, all right. Then Lin Fan kisses the master. After this the scene shifts, Tianmen inner cabinet. And the elder is saying, above is the plan I and the grand elder have devised. If there are no objections from everyone, we will proceed with this plan immediately. This is also the wish of our ancestors. And another elder says, for the training mission, I have no objections in that regard. Participate, coin the ranking competition among the immortal sects. Our disciples of the Tianmen sect have a mixed reputation, being seen as both righteous and unorthodox. They have always been disliked by both the immortal and demonic factions. Will these sects take advantage of this opportunity to strike back? And the elder says, since we're selecting the future backbone of our Tianmen sect, sacrifices are inevitable. It's unavoidable. Second elder, you need not say more. And the second elder says, since the ancestor has given approval, I have no further objections. Then another elder says, sect leader, there's one more thing I need to inform you about. I've reached out to the 8 major immortal sects, and while 7 are willing to cooperate with our Tianmen sect's disciples for their training, the founder of Qingyun's sect, Jian Qingyun, has a history of conflict with our sect's founder and is unwilling to cooperate. In fact, but Jian Qingyun is also cunning. He understands that our Tianmen ancestor has reached the emperor realm, so he's careful not to outright refuse. Instead, he set up a ring at Qingyan sect, and challenged that if any of our Tianmen sect's disciples can defeat 3 of Qingyan sect's holy sons, he'll cooperate and grant our disciples access to a secret realm within Qingyan sect. And after listening to that elder's words, the first elder says, "Oh, interesting. Then let's see who is better, my Tianmen sect's disciple, or his Qingyan sect's disciple. Spread my command. Defeating the 3 grand holy sons of Qingyan sect is now a top-tier mission. If any disciple completes this task, then they shall receive an immortal origin pill and 1,000,000 spirit stones as reward. 3 days from now, within the jurisdiction of Qingyan City, under Qingyan sect's authority, a little girl looks towards the sky and says to her mother, 'Mother, look, another immortal is flying towards Qingyan Mountain.' And her mother says, 'It's strange, why are so many immortals visiting Qingyan Mountain lately? Which one is this?' And we see Lin Fan, who is flying somewhere, and while going he is thinking, 'I didn't expect that the 3 holy sons of Qingyan sect would possess such abilities. Prior to my arrival, 3 disciples from 3 generations of nascent soul stage attempted to challenge them, but all lost. Jian Qingyan, if you don't give face to Tianmen sect, you're not giving face to Yanren either. I, Lin Fan, will meet your Qingyan sect's holy sons today.' And then Lin Fan reaches a place, and there are some people there. And we look at Jian Qingyan, and he's like, 'Oh, I didn't expect people from Tianmen to still not give up. My disciples have already crippled 3 of their disciples, yet there are still ignorant descendants coming to their deaths?' And Lin Fan says, 'Lin Fan, the emperor's son of Tianmen, is here today to meet them. I ask for the guidance of Qingyan sect's holy sons.' And Jian Qingyan is saying, so it's Lin Fan. Finally, a disciple with some weight. This Lin Fan is Zhao Yanran's personal disciple, just like you all, directly trained by me. As my own direct disciple, you must not allow me to lose face by being defeated by him, do you understand?' And the disciple says, 'We will never let down the honor of our master.' And the second disciple says, 'What emperor's son? I've been itching to meet him for a long time.' And 3 disciples come forward to attack Lin Fan, seeing whom Lin Fan starts laughing, and he is thinking, 'These 3 pretty boys have faces whiter than mine, they look like they have average fighting skills.' And one of the disciples says, 'You're the so-called emperor's son of Tianmen?' And the second disciple says, 'Among the top 10 disciples of the 8 major immortal sects, they merely call themselves holy sons. Yet you dare to arrogantly claim the title of emperor's son. How presumptuous!' And a third disciple says, 'All right, who do you want to fight first?' Then Lin Fan says to all 3 of them, the 8th ranked Kai Kun, the 9th ranked Shin Nong, and the 10th ranked Fan Qing. 'I have admired you for a long time, my junior brothers and sisters. I have been grateful to you for taking care of me. Sorry, my schedule is very tight-packed. So just come together.' 3 days ago, Master has given something to Lin Fan, seeing which Lin Fan is a little surprised, and he is saying, 'Limitless universe? Yanran, what is this?' So the Master tells Lin Fan, 'This is the cultivation method. Comprehended during my seclusion. After my breakthrough, I perfected it. The grade of this cultivation method has reached the immortal level. Shiner and the elders have already formulated the promotion plan for the disciples of Tianmen sect, and I will once again seclude myself to refine the pills to enhance the cultivation of the disciples as rewards. Your current cultivation already surpasses your peers in the 8 great immortal sects, but there's still a gap in your technique refinement. Take the opportunity to delve deeper. Given your current level, understanding the 3rd form shouldn't be a challenge. Once you grasp it, you'll be unparalleled among nascent realm cultivators. Now, show your worth and don't disappoint your master.' And Lin Fan is very happy after getting that thing, and he is thinking, an immortal level technique? Could that mean I can instantly max out my cultivation with a max level technique scroll? Before arriving here, I employed a max level technique scroll to elevate the limitless universe divine technique that Yanran passed me to its peak. After spending 3 days honing my skills, now, handling a few small fries like you guys is a piece of cake.' Then we see those 3, who are getting very angry and saying to Lin Fan, 'Arrogant fool, dare to underestimate me, the disciple of Qingyun sect. The supreme martial art of Qingyun sect, the Kunshin embrace. And one of the men moves forward to attack Lin Fan, but Lin Fan is also ready. And Lin Fan has thrown a punch, due to which the man's hand gets broken, and he goes far and hits a wall, and gets injured. And he is saying, "What?" After 25 years of training to master the Kunshin embrace to its peak. And the man's other companion says, "Brother Kun, taken down by this kid's single move?" And the third man says, "What an utterly domineering technique." But then Lin Fan comes behind both of them and says to them, "Dare to be distracted in the midst of battle. Go to hell." And Lin Fan makes both of their heads collide with each other, due to which both of them also lose. And Lin Fan is saying, "Humph, a disciple of the immortal sect, yet so lacking." At the same time Lin Fan is thinking, the limitless universe technique Yanran passed to me is truly formidable. The third style alone renders one invincible against nascent realm cultivators. The power of this ninth move is a complete downgrade for opponents of the same level. And seeing his three disciples defeated, Jian Qingyun becomes very surprised and says, "What? My three top disciples, in the blink of an eye, damn it," and he's thinking in the end, am I going to lose even my disciples to that woman? To be able to defeat my three disciples simultaneously, this guy's strength is probably among the top 5 among the disciples of the 8 great immortal sections. I refuse to accept this. And then the system tells Lin Fan, Jian Qingyun's favorability 10 bonus points 10 current points 1269. And Lin Fan is thinking, huh? I defeated 3 of Qingyun's old man's disciples, so why has his favorability towards me increased? Could it be that the relationship between him and Yanran isn't simple? Oh well, I won't dwell on it too much. Then Lin Fan says to Jian Qingyun, "Mr. Qingyun, don't forget your promise." And saying this Lin Fan leaves this place. After this the scene shifts, Tianmen sect's Merit Hall. And Lin Fan is saying, is that the merit monument set up by Yanran? To listen to Yanran's teachings, one must exchange merit for the opportunity, and merit can only be obtained by completing tasks assigned by the sect or by improving one's ranking in the sect's competitions. This is the rule she set after emerging from seclusion, one I must also follow. Lin Fan, a disciple of the 3rd generation of Tianmen sect, has completed a heavenly task and will be rewarded with 1 immortal origin pill, 1,000,000 spirit stones, and 100,000 merits points. It's actually a top-grade spirit stone that's worth 100,000 lower-grade spirit stones each. Tianmen sect truly lives up to its reputation as one of the top sects comparable to the 8 major immortal sections. Their generosity knows no bounds. With this immortal origin pill, my cultivation will advance rapidly. I'm currently at the middle stage of nascent soul realm. After taking it, I should be able to break through to the peak of nascent soul realm directly. The distance between me and Yanran is still too far, but then the leader and elder come to that place, seeing whom Lin Fan says, "Sect leader." And the great elder? "Why are you here?" And the leader says, "Lin Fan, you did a good job. You secluded yourself for 3 days to comprehend the martial arts. Turns out you were biding your time, and once you emerged, you accomplished a great feat, making a name for yourself among the 8 immortal gates." Then Lin Fan says, "Does sect leader refer to my defeat of the 3 grand disciples of the Qingyun sect?" And the elder says, "Exactly. Now you are the sole disciple within the sect to accomplish a heavenly level task. You truly embody the spirit of the emperor's son of our Tianmen, displaying the demeanor of a great emperor." Then the leader says, "In that case, the outside world should also be aware that the disciples of our Tianmen are no less capable than those of the 8 immortal sections. I've been keeping you hidden from the world all these years, not letting you gain experience, fearing that your strength might be lacking, and you might not be able to stand on your own for the time being. It seems I worry too much." And Lin Fan is thinking, although Tianmen has Yanran in charge compared to the 8 great sects that have stood for thousands of years, our foundation is still shallow. While our elite combat power surpasses that of any immortal sect, there is still a slight gap in disciple cultivation. Now, by defeating the Qingyun sect's holy sons, I've helped them sect leader save face. It's indeed a good opportunity to win favor, but I can't afford to appear too arrogant. Then Lin Fan says to both of them, of course, having techniques passed down directly from our venerable ancestor, if I still can't match up to others, I might as well just knock myself out with a tofu block. Moreover, as the Emperor's son of Tianmen, it's only natural for me, Lin Fan, to uphold the reputation of our sect. The sect leader and the elders have been overly generous in their price. And hearing this, the leader becomes happy and she says, humble and courteous, not arrogant about achievements. And the elder says, the disciple surpasses the master. At the same time, both of them are thinking, this kid's future is immeasurable. And Lin Fan is thinking, the sect leader and the grand elder really buy into this, haha, I'm just too clever. And then the system tells Lin Fan, Li Kerson's current favorability, 30, Mei Fang's current favorability, 30, current points, 1329. And listening to the system, Lin Fan is thinking, another 60 points earned. Just need 1500 more to redeem items from the system store. Then the leader says to Lin Fan, oh Lin Fan, almost forgot to tell you, you now have 100,000 merits, which means you can have an audience with the ancestor once and have him lecture you for a day. As for how to use it, simply let a drop of your essence blood fall onto the merit monument, and the ancestor will sense it. The next day, Danyang City is a city located 3,000 miles away from Tianmen sect. Both Lin Fan and Master are roaming around, and Lin Fan likes a hairpin from Master and says to Master, perfectly. How about giving it a try? And Master tries that hairpin, and when Lin Fan sees Master, Master looks very sexy to her. And she is saying to Master, Lin Fan, why do you keep giving people those odd looks? It makes them feel embarrassed. But Lin Fan does not say much, and starts taking the Master with him to another place and says, it looks intriguing. Over there, come on, let's go take a look. But Lin Fan has not given the money to the shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper is demanding his money from Lin Fan. But then Lin Fan throws a stone on the shopkeeper's head. And seeing that stone, the shopkeeper becomes happy and says, this, a spirit stone. Let's bring it to the nearby immortal sects for exchange. They'll give you 10 taels of gold for each piece. Thank you very much. And looking at Master Lin Fan, she is thinking, Fanner seems quite happy. Fanner exchanged the opportunity for me to preach for a day to allow me to accompany him for a day. Then I'll just spend the day with him. Then both of them are watching a show together. Then Lin Fan gives something to eat to Master, and we see that both of them also do the Big Eater Challenge. And after this it becomes night and Lin Fan is going somewhere with his master, and his master is saying to Lin Fan, Xiao Fan, it's getting late, we should head back to Tianmen. But Lin Fan says to the master, let's leave after watching this, it's not even midnight yet. And the master is saying, there's nothing here. So Lin Fan says to the master, wait a little longer, it's almost here. Close your eyes first. But she says to Master Lin Fan again, I won't fall for it this time. And Lin Fan says to the master, no, Yanran, you misunderstood me. Then the master closes her eyes and she is thinking, here it comes again, that thing. And Lin Fan starts counting down. Then Lin Fan asks Master to open her eyes, and when Master opens her eyes she sees a lot of fireworks happening in the sky, and Master is surprised to see this and Lin Fan is saying, how? About it, Yanran, the fireworks of the mortal world have a line charm, don't they? And the master says, I never imagined that the mortal world would have such a spectacle. Since I entered the immortal path at the age of 12, I haven't had contact with the mortal world for 3,000 years. Thank you, Fan, or I've had a really enjoyable day. And Lin Fan is thinking, actually, I came up with the recipe for these fireworks and got a lot of people to help with the display. But let's not mention it now. It might dampen the mood. Then he says to the master, I just couldn't bear seeing you working day and night, making pills for the disciples' training rewards at Tianmen, so I came up with this idea to take you out and relax. And her master says, little fool, I'm not someone who can't stand lonely. Just refining a few pills won't exhaust me. I also want to leave some heritage for Tianmen before ascending. But I'm happy that you have this thought. And then the system tells Lin Fan, congratulations to the host for successfully unlocking Zhao Yanran maximum favorability limit. Current favorability of Zhao Yanran, 110, reward for unlocking the maximum limit of favorability for the first time, 200 points, current points, 1539. And the system says to Lin Fan, oh? Didn't expect the host to be quite capable, actually unlocking the favorability maximum limit so quickly. But Lin Fan says to the system, could you not be a third wheel at this moment? And the system tells Lin Fan, okay, I'll just go back. Anyway, no one else can see me. Then she says to Master Lin Fan, Fanner, what are you mumbling to yourself there alone? And Lin Fan laughs and says, Fanner, what are you mumbling to yourself there alone? So the master says, fool, you are still far behind. The cultivation requires steady progress and cannot be rushed. I see that you seem to have refined the immortal origin pill, and yours cultivation has reached the peak of the nascent soul realm. But actually, this is not a good thing. In the coming time, you need to diligently cultivate your techniques. At least, you must reach the 5th level realm in the limitless universe technique before you can continue to break through. Otherwise, your foundation will be shaky, and even if you break through the realm, your strength may not necessarily improve much. And after listening to the master's words, Lin Fan is thinking, the 5th level of the limitless universe technique. Well, actually, I've already reached the maximum level. I'll have to find a way to get Yanran to lend me some more techniques to practice. Then Lin Fan says to the master, by the way, Yanran, there's something I want to ask you. What's your relationship with the founder of the Qingyun sect, Jian Qingyun? Why did he have a conflict with you? And she says to Master Lin Fan, Jian Qingyun. Well, to be honest, I owe him an apology. He once pursued me, but I rejected him. At that time, I was solely focused on my cultivation, and we had some exchanges in practice, which led to a misunderstanding on his part. I heard that my rejection caused him to lose his focus on the Tao. He became unstable and failed to break through. It's understandable that he might hold a grudge against me. And Lin Fan gets shocked after hearing this, and he is thinking, wow. I never thought that old Qingyun would still be my love rival. No wonder when I injured his 3 disciples, his favorability for me actually increased. It seems he still has feelings for Yanran. Perhaps he's intentionally causing trouble, just to get her attention. No way, I can't let that old man chase after me, Yanran. I have to tarnish his reputation. Then Lin Fan says to the master, I never expected such a thing to happen. Jian Qingyun's narrow-mindedness is truly surprising. Yanran, yours decision to reject him was incredibly wise. And the master says, indeed. I didn't anticipate him still being caught up in these matters, but you've certainly defended our Tianmen's honor and haven't lost to his disciples. But don't be complacent, Jian Qingyun's most outstanding directed disciple is actually Zhuge Ling. She once held the 2nd position among the top 10 disciples of the Surpasses, even that of the leader of the sect. Just a few days ago, Zhuge Ling and the young master of the 10,000 Demons sect became Tao companions and were expelled from their sect, which gives you an advantage. Although Zlige Ling was this attack to the sect, runs deep. You defeated 3 of her senior brothers, so she might come after you with all she's got. In the near future, there will be a grand competition between the immortal and demonic factions to compete for the opportunity to explore the Taiwan ruins. I've secured a spot for us to represent the immortal faction, but you may come across Zhuge Ling during that time. And hearing this, Lin Fan gets shocked and says, what? I'm not adept at dealing with women. I can't bring myself to harm a woman. Yanran, you have to help me out here, give me some top-level martial arts techniques or something, so that I can protect myself. And the master says, don't worry, no matter what, you're still my disciple. I know you've always held back when sparring with female disciples. Being too gentle with girls is indeed your weakness. Qingyun sect previously promised that if a disciple of Tianmen defeated 3 holy sons of Qingyun sect, they would earn a chance to enter the Qingyun secret realm once. Logically, this opportunity should be yours. However, the benefits of the Qingyun legacy for those at the peak of the nascent soul realm are limited. So, I decided to give this opportunity to Jipping, your 3rd-generation disciple whose cultivation is just slightly below yours, as compensation. I'll still provide you with a martial art technique. And Lin Fan sticks to the master and says, Yanran cares for me the most. Wait a moment. Yanran, didn't you just say, has Xiao Jiping come back? The next day, Cloud Conceal Peak. Lin Fan is sleeping. Then he wakes up and says, last night, I stayed up too late accompanying Yanran, and I'm so tired. But it was all worthwhile. Not only did it deepen Yanran's favorability for me, but I also gained a new martial arts technique from her. And the system is saying to Lin Fan, immortal level martial art, divine elemental technique. Would you like to use a martial art max level scroll to enhance it? Remaining quantity, 2. And Lin Fan is thinking, according to Yanran, the divine elemental technique was created by another senior ancestor of our Tianmen sect who has already ascended. It's a secret method that can rapidly boost one's strength in the short term. Before reaching the 5th level, it has a significant side used with caution. However, for me, it's no big deal at all. Haha, cheating feels great. Divine elemental technique, obtained. Woo-hoo. Liftoff. Knock off Pava, this is what it feels to be invincible. But then someone breaks Lin Fan's door taking his name, and seeing this Lin Fan is surprised and says, Nanny! Who dares to kick the door of mine, the Emperor's son, are you tired of living? And then Lin Fan gets a kick in the face. And Lin Fan is thinking, wait, this strength is so familiar. Could it be? It's her. And Lin Fan goes back and hits a wall, and in front of him is a girl, and that girl is saying to Lin Fan, what's wrong, Lin Fan? It's been years, yours reaction speed has really become slow. And Lin Fan is thinking, fuck, it really is her, Jiping. Then Lin Fan says to Jiping, you haven't changed a bit, still greeting with such enthusiasm right off the bat. You've indeed made some progress, but you still have a long way to go. Take this. And Lin Fan throws something towards Jiping, but Jiping hits that thing with her punch, but then Lin Fan comes behind her, and Jiping gets surprised to see this. Then Lin Fan punches Jiping, and makes her fall on the ground. And Jiping is saying to Lin Fan, you truly are a ruthless man, Lin Fan. I'm also a woman, why do you hit me so hard? And Lin Fan says to Jiping, you've got some nerve saying you're a woman. We've known each other since childhood. I know every single hair on yours body. A woman? You even dare to call yourself a woman? Don't pretend to understand anything about it, stay out of it. And Jiping says to Lin Fan, I thought after 5 years of experience outside, I could give you a hard time, but I didn't expect I still couldn't beat you. It seems that you have made considerable progress, Lin Fan. After this both of them start going outside and Lin Fan is saying to Jiping, you've been away for 5 years and you seem to have grown much stronger. And Jiping says to Lin Fan, that's true, while I might not be as advanced as you, I recently made it into the mid-stage of nascent soul realm. The experiences I've had outside these past few years have really broadened my horizons. And Lin Fan says, tell me about it. So Jiping says, let me think, where should I start? 5 years ago, I spent 3 days and 3 nights rushing thousands of miles along rivers, and captured an extremely precious golden sturgeon. Damn, you dare to little fish! Run, why aren't you running? And hearing this, Lin Fan gets shocked and says, wow, you're quiet. Daring. 3 years ago, in the Wanyao Mountains, I drugged a powerful ground dragon and stole a ground dragon egg from its nest. And hearing this, Lin Fan starts vomiting and says, hey, did you say drugged? So, the unidentified liquid on the egg, could it be? And Jiping further says, 1 year ago, I happened to meet a cultivator who was breaking through to the great power realm. While he was unconscious from exhaustion after the breakthrough, I plundered all the treasures from his body, even his Taoist robe. Because of this incident, the fellow chased after me for a long time. And Lin Fan says, damn, you're just a downright female rogue. Then Jiping says, and then, I secretly infiltrated the Yuxian sect and used explosive talismans to blow up the restroom in the Yuxian sect's cafeteria. And Lin Fan silences Jiping and says, that's enough. Don't say anything. And Jiping says, not saying anything then, you've listened to me for yours, share your own. After I came back, I heard many rumors from junior martial brothers and sisters, saying that you were flirting around in the Tianmen sect. Is it true? And Lin Fan says, no, it's all slander, all rumors. They defame me, purely defame me. Then Jiping says, alright, just kidding with you, I'm not interested in knowing about these things. But I must remind you, romantic relationships between men and women are prohibited within the Tianmen sect. It's rumored that this rule was set by our recently emerged ancestors. If you continue to mess around like this, be careful she doesn't strike you down with one palm. And Lin Fan is thinking, should I tell her that I've successfully conquered that ancestors? And Jiping says to Lin Fan, just joking with you, no need to be so tense. Do you really have a significant other? But don't worry, if that ancestors really wants to strike you down, I'll definitely protect you. After all, we are the closest of friends. And Jiping starts leaving and Lin Fan is thinking, Jiping, you really haven't changed a bit. And while leaving, Jiping says to Lin Fan, alright Lin Fan, although I'm happy to see you, I have to go participate in the secret realm trial arranged by the Ancestor. I know this opportunity was originally meant for you. Thank you for giving it to me. I might be gone for a while on this journey. Let's meet again at the upcoming Immortal and Demon Grand Competition. Lin Fan, it's been years since we last met. You've become handsome. How did I not notice before? You were always a handsome guy. And Lin Fan tries to stop Jiping, but Jiping runs away. Then Lin Fan is saying, this little girl is always so lively and passionate. And then the system says to Lin Fan, congratulations to the host for gaining favorability. Converted into points plus 50, Jiping, current favorability, 50, current points, 1589. And Lin Fan is saying, oh? Unexpectedly, there's still a pleasant surprise? Favorability of 50. I didn't expect Jiping, that little girl, to have such a high favorability towards me. I thought since she always enjoys battling with me, her favorability shouldn't be too high. Oh right, point small. I'm about to compete with the elite disciples of both the immortal and demonic faction. I'll need to see if there are any treasures in the system mall that can enhance my strength. I am determined to come out on top in this Immortal Demon Grand Competition, surpassing others with my skills. By doing so, I can move one step closer to Yanran. System, come out. Then the system comes out and she says to Lin Fan, amidst a thunderous clamor, the system makes a dazzling entrance onto the scene. And Lin Fan says to the system, enough with the cute act. Let's swiftly open the system mall and see what treasures are inside. And the system says, can you be a little more gentle with the ladies, host? The mall is loading, the system mall is open, and Lin Fan being happy gives a kick to the system and says to it, alright, you're of no more use. Just go cool off somewhere. And the system is telling Lin Fan, damn it, you heartless bastard. But Lin Fan is saying, let me see what treasures there are. Hey hee. Then the system says to Lin Fan, congratulations to the host for earning more than 1,500 points. The first system action offers a limited time discount reward, choose one from 3. 1-day luck enhancement card 1500 points, 1-day cultivation copy card 1500 points, permanent qualification enhancement card 1500 points. And seeing this, Lin Fan is thinking, the 1-day luck enhancement card seems to be luck related, may be useful in alchemy, crafting, or exploring to boost luck. As for the permanent qualification enhancement card, it sounds like it enhances qualifications. But as for me, I'm already a prodigy with innate talent, so it seems rather pointless. The 1-day cultivation copy card. What is it exactly? System, care to explain? Then the system tells Lin Fan, the 1-day cultivation copy card allows the host to copy the cultivation of an individual with a favorability over 100, once, and Lin Fan is thinking, I see. Currently, the only individual with a favorability over 101's Yanran. This could be a lifesaver. With Yanran's formidable strength, purchasing the copy card seems like the most worthwhile option. It might come in handy at a critical moment. Survival comes first in the martial world. Don't worry about trivial matters. With this copy card, I'll feel more secure when showing off in the future. Good, I'll buy it. 3 days left before the grand competition. The leader is speaking. The Tianmen sect's 3rd-generation disciples have undergone multiple selections. Among you 4, including advance their cultivation to the peak of the nascent soul realm. Immortal Demon Friend competition begins. Our ancestors have secured 5 spots for us to compete. This event isn't just about the next 30 years' division of territory between the immortals and demons, it's also a prime opportunity to magnify Tianmen sect's reputation. What you have to face are all the top 50 people on the list of immortals and demons. Their strength is extraordinary. While Tianmen sect is undoubtedly powerful, our prominence has waned due to our ancestors' seclusion. This competition is not just about fighting for the immortal faction, but also about upholding the honor of Tianmen sect. Therefore, success is not an option, you must win. Do you all understand? And everyone says to the leader, yes, we got it. Then Lin Fan says, I, as a disciple, will surely uphold the honor of Tianmen sect. Let both sides witness the true power of Tianmen sect. And the leader says to Lin Fan, very good, please be careful on your journey. And everyone leaves for their journey, and while leaving Lin Fan is thinking, wait for me, Yanran. When I return victorious, I'll be one step closer to you. Sooner or later I, Lin Fan, will openly and honorably marry you. And the master is looking at all these things and she is saying, Fanner, good luck care on your journey. After this the scene shifts, the main hall of the Crimson Demon sect. Then we see a man who is the leader of this place, and an elder says to him, Sect Master, you summoned us, saying there was an urgent matter to discuss. What is it? Then another elder tells him, I've even paused my work on refining the Crimson Serpent 10,000 Souls banner. Sect Master, what is this urgent matter? Then the leader says, please be patient, fellow elder. I understand that you all have important matters to attend to. If it were a minor issue, I wouldn't have disturbed you. I believe you are all aware that in recent years, our Crimson Demon sect has become a major force in the demon faction, while the immortal faction has seen similar developments. This year there is an extra, Tianmen. Previously, there were 8 sects in the immortal faction and 6 sects in the demon faction. Now, it has become 9 sects in the immortal faction and 7 sects in the demon faction. This upcoming grand competition is bound to be full of variables. Then another elder says, Sect Master, what do you mean? So the leader says, although our Crimson Demon sect is recognized as one of the major forces in the demon faction, we have always been questioned by other sects about our foundation. In the previous Immortal Demon Grand Competition, our demon faction suffered a crushing defeat against the immortal faction. If our Crimson Demon sect can overturn the situation in this upcoming competition, defeating the immortal faction in one fell swoop, we can achieve instant renown. This victory will firmly establish our foothold among the major forces of the demon faction. And hearing this, the elder says, Sect Master, rest assured. Our sect's young master is already ranked 5th on the Earth Demon ranking, destined to showcase his skills in the Immortal Demon Grand Competition. But the leader says, Fool! Our sect demands nothing less than absolute certainty. Don't forget, we are cultivators of the demon faction. All those ethics and laws only serve to shackle the fools in the immortal faction, they hold no power over us. And the second elder says, Sect Master, are you implying that we should arrange for our operatives to ambush the immortal faction prodigies during the competition? And the leader says, Elder Chixing truly lives up to being the right-hand man of our sect, really understands my intentions deeply. Exactly. It's assassination. The first battle for our Crimson Demon sect is against Tianmen sect. It is said that the Crown Prince of Tianmen is quite strong, having defeated 3 prodigies from Qingyun's sect on his own. His strength is likely sufficient to compete for a spot in the top 5 of the Earth Demon ranking, and even my son might not be able to secure a victory against him. I have already received support from Tianmen sect, the number 1 sect in the demonic faction, for this matter. You can rest assured and proceed boldly. Then all the elders say, We understand, we will not let down the sect master's trust. After this the scene shifts to the suburbs of Yanin City. And the little girl is asking Lin Fan, Brother Lin Fan, where are we going? And Zhao Yuhua says, Lin Fan, this direction isn't towards Lingxiao City. And Lin Fan says, before we set off, the sect leader instructed me to meet up with Ji Ping in Yunying City first. Ji Ping departed from the Qingyan sect and should be arriving soon. And Qin Qingfeng says, I see, then let's not waste any time and quickly meet up with Ji Ping. By the way, everyone, be careful along the way. Zhao Yuehua says, be careful? Brother Chen, what do you mean? The road to Qishao City is all under the control of immortal sections. Our Tianmen sect has become one of the 9 great sects of the immortal faction due to our ancestors' breakthrough. What is there to be careful about? And Qin Qingfeng says, you all may not know, but from what I've heard, the demonic sects are known for their treacherous methods. There have been several instances where they sent assassins to kill prodigies of the immortal sects. Now that junior brother Lin has made a name for himself on the prodigy list of 8 major immortal sects, he has surely attracted the attention of people from the demonic path, so we cannot afford to be careless. And Lin Fan says, senior brother Chen is absolutely right. After we meet up with Ji Ping, we will quickly head to Lishao City. No matter how bold the people of the demonic faction are, they wouldn't dare cause trouble at the sight of the immortal demon competition. Then we see Ji Ping. And there are 3 disciples with him, and one of the disciples is saying, Sister, how much longer do we have to wait here? And the second disciple says, Yeah, sister, you've been pacing around for 2 days. If we don't leave soon and miss the time for the immortal demon competition, the Ancestor will blame us. And Ji Ping says, Oh? So, are you saying that you think your Ancestor is scarier than me? So the second disciple says, No. No, that's not what we meant. And the third disciple is saying, Sister, we didn't mean it like that. It's just that the immortal demon competition is very important, and we can't afford any delays. Besides, aren't you also participating in the competition? That's why the Ancestor wanted us to go with you, but you. And Ji Ping says, Don't worry, I'm just waiting for the people from Tianmen sect to join us. Once they arrive, we'll set off immediately. Let's check the time. Don't worry, they should be arriving soon. And those disciples are thinking, is this tigress really going to travel with Lise the whole way? Well, what else can we do? The Ancestor instructed us to accompany Tianmen sect's disciples and be cautious of assassinations from the demonic faction along the way. By sticking together, we can watch out for each other. I don't understand either. Wasn't the Ancestor always disliking Tianmen sect? How come after meeting with that Tianmen sect's Ancestor last time, there was such a big change in attitude? As for watching out for each other, let's not even mention that Lin Fan guy. Just talking about sister, she completely dominated us in the Qingyan secret realm a while back. I think we should be the ones clinging to them. And the first disciple is saying, We're still here, walls and be in such a sorry state. And then Ji Ping feels someone's aura, due to which she becomes happy, and she starts looking ahead. Then he sees Lin Fan, and Lin Fan is also surprised to see Ji Ping, and he is saying, Well, who are the 3 besides you? And Ji Ping calls Lin Fan and asks him to come down. And the little girl is very happy to see Ji Ping. And the little girl is saying, Ji Ping, I missed you so much. Last time when you returned to Tianmen sect, you were so focused on seeing brother Lin Fan that you didn't come to see me. I was upset, And Ji Ping says to the little girl, It's my fault. Please forgive me this time, okay, little Ling? Then Qin Qingfeng is asking Ji Ping, By the way, Ji Ping, who are these 3? So Ji Ping says, Oh, these? They are my newly recruited disciples who are also participating in the immortal demon competition. But all 3 of them are saying, Hey! At least introduce us properly. Then Lin Fan says, Now that everyone's here, let's not waste time and hit the road. Hey, why are you 3 here? And all 3 of them are saying, Brother! Did you just notice us? And Lin Fan says, Isn't this Kai Kun, Chen Hang Prom Qingyan sect? And all 3 happily say, Woo-woo. Finally, someone remembers our names. Then Lin Fan gets favorability points from all 3. And the first disciple says, We are here on the orders of our Ancestor, to participate in the Immortal Demon Grand Competition along with disciples of Tianmen sect. And Lin Fan is thinking, when did Yan Qingyan change his nature? Wait, it's not related to Yanran, is it? However, having these guys with us might not be a bad thing. If we encounter that Qingyan sect's prodigy, Zhuge Ling, it could help ease tensions with them. The next day, the suburbs of Baiwa City. Then we see a killer dressed in black, who comes to his companions and shows them a map and says, "This place is Bai West City, a must-pass on the way to Linshao's city." And his other companion says, "Behind Bai West City, 100 miles away, is one Tianmen, one of the 9 sects of the Immortal faction. So, our interception operation this time must be quick. Ruthless. Accurate. We must ensure a one-hit kill." And the third murderer says, "The 3 of us are all elite guards of the Crimson Demon sect, with cultivation reaching the realm of great power. What could possibly go wrong against some inexperienced kids?" And the man says, "Don't let your guard down. Even if the opponent is a genius among the immortal sects, though not our match, holding our ground against them for a while is not difficult." And the second murderer says, "Exactly. What we fear most is not our lives being endangered if we alert Wan Jianmen for reinforcements. It's failing to accomplish the important task entrusted to us by the sect master." And the third killer asks, "So, what you are saying is?" So that man tells, "Sneak attack. We'll ambush them. Catch them off guard. We must inflict serious damage on them at the first encounter, so they have no chance to call for help." And listening to him, his partner likes this idea. Then he tells them, "Let's not waste any time, let's do it quickly." 3 hours later. When Lin Fan's group is going ahead, Zhao Yuehua feels something strange, and he asks them to stop. Then Qin Shi Feng asks, "Junior sister Zhao, why did you suddenly stop? Is something wrong?" And Lin Fan is thinking something while looking at Zhao Yuehua. Junior sister Lehua has been training outside for many years, and she has a natural sense of wilderness. It seems she has noticed something. But I've already reached the peak of the nascent soul realm. Even when I used my divine sense to explore nearby, I didn't perceive any threat. Unless their cultivation surpasses the peak of the nascent soul realm. And then Zhao Yuehua gets scared, and Lin Fan also understands that some people are going to attack them from hiding. And those killers have already made preparations. And Lin Fan's group is saying, "Everyone, quickly disperse formation." And Jiping tells her friends, "Enough talk, spread out quickly." But then a man tells Jiping to stop. But now it is too late, and he is attacked, due to which he starts falling down. And seeing this, his friends are getting very upset. And he falls in the middle of the jungle. And Jiping is getting very angry, and she is saying, "Damn scoundrels! How dare you attack my little brother? I'll fight you to the death." And Jiping starts coming down to fight. And Lin Fan is trying to stop Jiping, and he is telling Qin Shi Feng, senior brother Qin, to take Linger to the nearby immortal sect for help. The enemy might be assassins from the demonic sect. They're probably at a very high cultivation level. And then Zhao Yuehua panics and says, "What? A very high cultivation level?" And the little girl is saying, "No, I won't leave. Brother Lin Fan and sister Jiping didn't leave, so I won't leave. I want to fight too." But Zhao Yuehua and Qin Shi Feng stop her from going ahead. And then both of them feel something, and we see that they too are attacked, but they barely escape that attack. And Zhao Yuehua is saying to the little girl, "The situation is Sister Su. Senior brother Qin, you take Linger and go first, I'll help Lin Fan and the others." And Qin Shi Feng, while taking the little girl from this place, says to Zhao Yuehua, "All right, be careful. The demonic sect members are cunning, and their cultivation level surpasses ours. Remember, saving your life is the most important thing." And Zhao Yuehua says, "Understood, senior brother Qin. I'll entrust Linger to you," and Qin Shi Feng leaves from this place. And Zhao Yuehua says to those two people, "You two, how long are you going to cry like girls?" And saying this, Zhao Yuehua goes to fight. And she is saying, "If you're men, join me in avenging your senior brother. Even though the enemy's cultivation is higher than ours, as long as we hold them off until the Wandian sect experts arrive, they won't be able to escape." And we see these two, and the other disciple is saying, "She's right. We disciples of Qingyun's sect aren't cowards. We must avenge Brother Kun." Then we see those murderers, and one of them is saying, "Damn it, I didn't expect someone among them could detect our presence beforehand. It seems the prodigies within the immortal sects aren't ordinary, no wonder the sect master is so cautious of them." And the second murderer says, the Qiyuan talismans, made by the Elder Qigong, are powerful enough to kill someone at the great power level if caught off guard. If they hadn't dispersed just now, at least half of them would have been killed. And the third murderer says, it's a pity there's only one Qiyuan talisman. Now it's our turn to shine. And then Jiping attacks those murderers. And seeing this, all three killers get very scared, and they are saying nervously, what? A saint-level martial art? How can a mere nascent soul cultivator use this? We can't resist this move. Disperse quickly, and Jiping's dangerous attack falls on them, due to which a huge explosion takes place at that place. And now Jiping is very angry and she has come down, and those killers are saying, such a terrifying power, it's almost comparable to our full-strength attack. Is this a technique from Tianmen sect? Why wasn't this mentioned in the intelligence reports? It's rumored that once Tianmen sect's disciples reach the nascent soul realm, they travel for training, facing life and death. This method of training is unique among all the immortal sections. And the second murderer says so, it's not surprising if these disciples gain techniques or inheritances from various ruins. Damn it, compared to those sheltered prodigies of other sects, these Tianmen sect's disciples likely have even more combat experience than we anticipated. We mustn't be careless. Attack with all might, and all three murderers together surround Jiping, and Jiping is thinking, it appears the cultivation of these three is far above mine. Just now, I locked onto their auras with my palm strike. If their cultivation were below mine, they wouldn't have been able to escape my palm's restraint. But these three dodged it in an instant. These three are really tough to deal with. And a murderer says this woman's strength is likely not inferior to Tianmen sect's Lin Fan. She might be another trump card of Tianmen sect. Kill her first. Charge. But then Lin Fan attacks the murderer, but the murderer notices this. And he creates a wall of fire in front of himself, and he stops Lin Fan's attack. And Lin Fan too is very surprised to see this technique. And then Zhao Yuehua also comes to fight, and she too attacks the other killer. And seeing this, the killer gets scared, but he withstands the attack, and he is saying, this is the inheritance of the true martial emperor. And looking at Zhao Yuehua, the killer is thinking, hey, it's rumored that 2 years ago, a female cultivator obtained the true martial emperor's inheritance in the true martial hall, and then disappeared. Could she be that woman? Damn it, her cultivation level is clearly lower than ours, yet she's so difficult to handle. Is this the power of an immortal sect prodigy? We must assist and defeat them one by one. And then two disciples together attack the murderer. And seeing this, the murderer is surprised, but he attacks them very fast and drives them away. And Lin Fan is thinking, there are 3 of them, and this one seems to be the leader. The pressure he exudes is the strongest. He's probably not just someone who has recently broken through to the great power realm. Jiping, Yulihua, and the people from Qingyan sect can entangle the other 2 for a short time, but if this person joins the battle, they will be defeated instantly. Then the murderer says, this brat actually used his divine sense to lock onto me? Does he intend to delay me? Although we follow different paths and are not meant to cooperate, I must admit that this brat has impressive courage. And then the murderer remembers something, and he is thinking, this kid's appearance is almost identical to the Lin Fan in the intelligence report. Is he Lin Fan? And Lin Fan gets a chance to attack the murderer, and while attacking, Lin Fan is saying, the 9th form of limitless universe divine technique breaks the universe. And seeing Lin Fan's attack, the killer gets shocked, and he tries to stop Lin Fan's attack. And he becomes a divine flame shield. And he is saying, it is rumored that Tianmen sect's limitless universe divine technique can break all the martial arts in the world. Are the rumors true? Even if the limitless universe divine technique is powerful, the gap in cultivation is something you can't surpass. Take this. Flame fist. And the fists of both of them collide with each other, and we see that blood starts coming out of Lin Fan's mouth, and he falls away, and he is saying, the great power realm is indeed powerful. No wonder the top 3 people on the list of prodigies are all called monsters. Not to mention the talented ones, just regular true great power realm cultivators have far surpassed the nascent soul realm. And Lin Fan is thinking, should I use the sacred origin formula? But if I use it now, what about the immortal demon grand competition later? The sacred origin formula places a tremendous strain on the body. If I use it now with my current cultivation, I might not recover for half a month. Got it. Since I can't strengthen myself, why not weaken the enemy? I still have that cultivation technique of absorbing scroll. And the murderer says to Lin Fan, "What's this kid thinking?" Humph, no time to think about that now. The people from the Wanjian sect are coming soon. I need to at least kill the Tianmen's crown prince before they arrive, to complete the sect master's mission. And Lin Fan prepares the attack while thinking something, and he is thinking, I'll take the cultivation technique of Crimson Demon sect. And then seeing Lin Fan's attack, the killer gets scared and he says, "No, what's this treasure? Seems like it doesn't have much lethal power. What the heck, just a bluff to scare me. Humph, playing smart. I'll use the Crimson Flame technique to send you on your way." Inferno Emperor. What's the situation? And Lin Fan also attacks the killer, and seeing this, the killer is unable to understand how this is happening. And we see that a huge explosion takes place at that place, and the killer's condition starts deteriorating, and he says, "How could such a ridiculous thing happen? What method did that kid use? I can't use my cultivation technique anymore?" And then Qin Shi Feng arrives at that place, and he is saying, "Junior brother Lin Fan, I brought the people from Wanjian sect." As soon as the killer hears Qin Shi Feng's words, he starts getting very nervous, because their mission has now failed. And he is telling his companions that we will have to retreat. And Qin Shi Feng says those demonic sect's assassins are trying to escape. And the murderers are running away from this place very fast. And Qin Shi Feng says to Elder Yuangxin, "Hurry and capture them." But Elder remains silent for a while. Then she says, "No need. They're just a bunch of insignificant mice. Today is the anniversary of our Grand Elder's birth at Wanjian sect. I don't want to engage in any bloodshed." And Elder is thinking, the foundation of the Tianmen sect is weak, relying entirely on Zhao Yanran. Once she ascends, the Tianmen sect will only be a second-rate sect. To provoke a major demonic sect isn't a smart move. If it weren't for the Qingyan sect disciples here, I wouldn't have intervened. The disciples of Tianmen have previously had conflicts with our subsect, Sword Sect. It's a pity these demonic sect fools didn't do any real damage to the Tianmen sect's disciples. Humph, they're lucky. And Lin Fan thanks the elder for saving them. And the second disciple greets the elder. And the elder laughs and says to him, "Oh, so you're Chen Nong, the holy son of Kinkelin sect. No need for formalities. As your master's disciple, you can call me by my first name. Both of you were frightened. Holy Son Kai Kun of our Wandian sect unfortunately perished. It was our oversight. I'll make sure to compensate Qingyan sect properly." And that disciple says, "It wasn't your fault, elder. The demonic sect was despicable, and we were outmatched." And Jiping is thinking, this old woman's attitude towards my Tianmen sect's disciples compared to how she acts towards the Qingyan sect is completely different. That's why I can't stand these so-called virtuous immortals. They're nothing but hypocrites. Then the scene shifts, Tianmen sect at night. And Zhao Yanran is saying, "What? They ambushed Lin Fan. How is he?" So the sect leader says, "I just received a message from Qi Feng. Fortunately, they were rescued by Wandian sect and have no major injuries." And Zhao Yanran says, "Have you identified their identity?" So the elder says, according to Lin Fan, the attackers used Crimson Demon sect's techniques. Although others are uncertain, Lin Fan is confident they used Crimson Demon sect's methods. And Lin Fan is thinking, how can I not be certain? I already know they used Crimson Flame technique. I've even learned the technique myself. And Zhao Yanran says the Crimson Demon sect is audacious and doesn't take me seriously. And she is thinking, damn, to harm Lin Fan like this, they're looking for trouble. And Zhao Yanran starts going somewhere very fast. And seeing this, both the sect leader and the elder are surprised. And the sect leader is saying, is the Ancestor going to take action against the Crimson Demon sect? This may lead to a war between immortals and demon sects. You must not do this, Ancestor. And the elder says, sect leader, there's no need to worry so much. The Ancestor's wisdom is beyond our comprehension. With the Ancestor's action this time, it's not only to protect our Tianmen sect's disciples, but it sends a message to all in the immortal and demon sections. And on hearing this, the sect leader is shocked, and the elder tells, that is, Tianmen's sect cannot be. And Zhao Yanran is moving forward very fast. Then we see the leader, who is very angry, and he is saying, "How dare they? What a bunch of bastards! You all swore to me there wouldn't go anything wrong, and yet, look what happened. Fine, fine, fine. Stay silent now. You're all terrible at handling such minor matters. How can I rely on you to strategize in the Immortal Demon Grand Competition? How can I trust you to bring Crimson Demon Sect to prominence? A bunch of useless trash. Forget it." And then an elder says, "Sect Master, please don't be angry. Although we didn't succeed, we didn't lose any troops either, so it's not all bad." And the leader says, "Oh, you mean I'm supposed to praise you now?" And the elder is saying, "No. I don't dare. Sect Master, just give Lise one more chance, this time." Sect Master? And as soon as they look ahead, the leader is not in front of them. And seeing this, they get scared and they are saying, "Sect Master's been abducted. Not good. Someone who can abduct a Sect Master right in front of us must have cultivation comparable to the Grand Elder. Notify the Ancestor quickly." On the other side, outside the Crimson Demon Sect, Zhao Yanran has brought the leader out. And seeing Zhao Yanran in front of him, the leader is surprised and he is not able to understand what is going on. And Zhao Yanran says to the leader, "Are you the Sect Master of the Crimson Demon Sect?" And the leader, looking at Zhao Yanran, is thinking, "Who is this person? Their cultivation is so terrifying. Our sect is already the last realm among the Tianyuan 3 realms. To handle me so effortlessly, what level of cultivation must they possess?" And the leader greets Zhao Yanran and he is thinking, "To such a powerful individual, I'm nothing but a mere ant in her eyes. It would be wise not to provoke her. Perhaps there's still a chance if I explain honestly." And Zhao Yanran says, "Humph, so you're Qi Qianyan. It seems old man Qi Lian didn't deceive me." And hearing this, the leader is surprised and he is thinking nervously, "Could it be the Patriarch sold me out? No! This can't be." And the leader says, "You. What have you done to our Patriarch?" So Zhao Yanran says, "Nothing much, just taught him a lesson. It'll take him about 10 or 8 years to recover, and I also imparted some experience on him about being a role model so he can better manage his disciples." "Qi Qianyan, what the hell have you done? I'll fly you alive." And the leader says, "What? You actually harmed the Patriarch. Few in the world today could do such a thing." And Zhao Yanran says, "And among them, there are only 2 female cultivators. Could it be you?" "Hee, looks like you're not stupid after all." To say you're not stupid is an understatement. "Since you know my name and still dared to lay hands on my disciple, have you thought about what price you'll pay?" And the leader says, "Senior, though your cultivation is formidable, you can't act recklessly. Otherwise, you'll attract premature attention from the immortal realm and ascend in broad daylight. Once you ascend, without your protection, Tianmen will surely plummet. And aren't you afraid of triggering a massive war between immortals and demons?" And Zhao Yanran says, "You're underestimating me too much. If I couldn't control my power perfectly, how could I easily defeat your Patriarch, Qi Lian? As for the war between immortals and demons, I doubt one Qi Qianyan can sway its outcome." And the leader is thinking, "This is bad, this woman is calmer than I thought and clearly has a protective streak. If I keep being stubborn, I might actually get killed." Then the leader says to Zhao Yanran, "Senior. I was wrong, I'll accept whatever punishment you give, Senior." And Zhao Yanran says, "All right, you've got some backbone. I won't kill you today. But I still need to teach you a lesson." And Zhao Yanran using her power ties the leader with a golden chain, and the leader is saying, "Ugh! Is this the legendary Heaven's Reversal?" And the leader starts shouting very loudly, but Zhao Yanran leaves the leader and says to him, "I won't kill you now. Instead, I'll seal your cultivation for 100 years and lower you by 1 realm. Rest assured, even Qi Lian himself cannot lindo my methods. If you dare again, the Crimson Demon sect will have no reason to continue existing. And the leader is saying nervously, is this the sheer dominance of absolute power? Then the scene shifts to Lingxiao City. And we see Lin Fan's group, and Lin Fan is saying, we've finally arrived at Lingxiao City. Then Qin Qifeng says, though we faced some turbulence in Baiwei City, we've had smooth sailing ever since, arriving at Lingxiao City a day earlier than planned. And Zhao Yuehua says, indeed, the journey has been unusually calm. From what I know, those of the demonic path shouldn't easily give up. Perhaps something unknown has occurred that we're unaware of. And Ji Ping says, now isn't the time to ponder these matters. Let's move on. Since we've arrived ahead of schedule, let's first explore this rumored Lingxiao City and witness firsthand the elite disciples of both the immortal and demon factions. Let's see what skills they possess and maybe exchange a few moves. And the second disciple says, elder sister is right. Once we're inside, no matter what, I'll find a demon brat and teach him a lesson for my senior brother. But Lin Fan says, hey, isn't it too early to start beating people up before we even get to the arena for the competition? So the second disciple says, Lin Fan, my friend, you underestimate this. In this immortal demon grand competition, there aren't that many rules. Any disciple ranked in the top 50 of the immortal and demon factions can participate. How long do you think the rounds of competition will continue? And the third disciple is saying, that's right. So, before the competition starts, it's no big deal to pick a few weaklings and give them a thrashing. This is an accepted understanding in Lingxiao City, that as long as peers fight, no one can take advantage of their strength. And Lin Fan says, I see. Then we see another man, who is looking at Lin Fan's group and saying, another group of immortal sect disciples has arrived. Aside from the two from Qingyan sect, the rest are new faces, as expected, disciples from the recently prominent Tianmen sect. Brothering, what do you think of them? And Ing Tianqing says, the Tianmen sect's foundation is still shallow, and these people are not worthy of concern. Brother Lien, both you and I rank in the top 3 of the top experts from Tai Tianmen sect's leaders being worth attention. So Lien Wanqing laughs and says, ha, indeed. The former third-ranked prodigy on the heavenly proud list, Zhuge Ling, has already become Dao companions with Brother Ing. The decline in the immortal Dao's power is significant, and relying on just a small Tianmen sect to reverse the situation is indeed naive. And Ing Tianqing says, you're right, but Brother Lien, if we encounter disciples from Qingyan sect, I hope you'll show some restraint and not go for the kill. And then Lin Fan notices something, and he asks Zhao Yuehua, have you noticed too? So Zhao Yuehua says, yes, there's someone lurking in the shadows spying on us. This person's cultivation is deep, with a slightly delicate aura. They must be from the demonic faction. But then Ji Ping tells them that they are 2 people. And Ing Tianqing says, it seems these Tianmen sect's disciples are not simple either. They can actually sense our presence. Interesting, it seems I've underestimated them. And then the system tells Lin Fan that it has received favorability points from Ing Tianqing. And Lin Fan is surprised to know this and he says, what? It's actually the young master of the 10,000 demon sect, Ing Tianqing? Why would someone like him target us? And Lin Fan is thinking nervously, could it be that woman's Lai Jling invited him to come after me because I humiliated Qingyan sect? And Ji Ping was thinking, I could sense the presence of 2 individuals. But I didn't know their identities. Yet Lin Fan somehow knows their details. It seems his strength still surpasses mine. And Zhao Yuehua is thinking, I thought obtaining the inheritance of the true martial emperor had made my cultivation peerless in the same realm. But unexpectedly, not only Lin Fan, even Ji Ping is stronger than me. Then the scene shifts to the central district of Lingxiao City. And they are going forward. And Ji Ping is saying, Senior Brother Chen and Lingner went to represent the Tianmen sect in this immortal demon grand competition. They might not return for a while. Lin Fan, I think we should find a place to rest in the city tonight. And Lin Fan says, sounds good. Since the 2 from Qingyan sect have also left and there's no guide, wandering aimlessly in a place like Lingxiao City could easily lead to trouble. And Zhao Yuehua says, I noticed an inn as I passed by just now, I'll lead you there. And Lin Fan is saying, wow, quite impressive. And Zhao Yuehua tells all her companions to go inside. But then a servant comes in front of them, and stops them, and he tells them, "Excuse me, are you here to stay at the inn?" And Lin Fan says to the servant, "That's right, any advice?" And the servant says, "Can you see the 3 characters on the signboard of our inn?" And Jiping gets angry and says, "Isn't it Tianjiao Pavilion? Do you think I can't read?" But the servant laughs and says, "Haha, as the saying goes, Tianjiao Pavilion only accommodates the best. We have limited rooms in our inn, so we only serve the top 20 guests from the Heaven's Pride list or the Earth Demon list. You all seem unfamiliar. Do you not understand the rules here? If you really want to stay, I suggest you go to the Inkai Pavilion, across the street. They don't have as many rules." And Zhao Yuehua says, "What exactly do you mean by all this beating around the bush? Speak clearly." And Jiping is saying, "Since this is an inn, how can you say people can't stay here? I insist on staying in this inn today." But the servant is not making any difference to all these things, and he is saying, "Humph, country bumpkin. Didn't you want me to speak clearly? Then let me make it crystal clear. What I mean is, this inn only accommodates elites, and definitely not trash." And Zhao Yuehua is getting very angry, and she is saying, "Who are you calling trash?" But then Lin Fan asks Zhao Yuehua to keep quiet. And the servant is saying, "What, you want to fight? Do you not know who backs Tianjiao Pavilion? Humph, judging by your pitiful state, you must be from some minor sect, haven't seen the world. If you don't know about Tianjiao Pavilion, ask your main sect's people." And Lin Fan laughingly says to the servant, "You misunderstood me, brother, that's not what I meant." And the servant says, "So, it looks like someone finally gets it?" And Lin Fan says, "You just said that Tianjiao Pavilion only accommodates the top 20 from both the immortal and demon faction, right?" And the servant says, "That's correct. Knowing this is good, it's the rule, and no one can break it. If you want to stay in the upper rooms of this inn, there's only one way: gain recognition from both the immortal and demon faction, instead of raging powerlessly here." And Lin Fan says, "There's another way?" And then Lin Fan asks Jiping and Zhao Yuehua to take action. And they both go upstairs, and the servant is surprised to see this. And when they both go inside, a very loud sound starts coming from inside, hearing which the servant gets scared and he is saying to Lin Fan, "What are you all trying to do? This isn't a place for you to run wild." And then we see that some people fall down from above, seeing whom the servant is surprised, and he is saying, 8 Bathing, the Earth Demon list, Wan Renjia, ranked 17th, and Jiang Bailey, ranked 15th. How is this possible? Did those 3 defeat these demon factions elites in such a short time? Then Lin Fan says to the servant, "Now, do we qualify to go in?" And the servant is saying, You, who exactly are you people? Such domineering actions, are they from the immortal or the demon faction?" But all 3 ignore the servant and start going inside. And Zhao Yuehua says to the servant, "We are disciples of Tianmen." Hearing this, the servant gets more scared. And Lin Fan says to him, "That's how we do things." On the other side, Lingshao's city, demon camp. Lian Wanqing is saying, "Has that guy still not arrived? Brother Ying is the leader of this immortal demon grand competition. Dares she ignore Brother Ying's invitation?" And Ying Tianqing says, "Forget about her. I never expected her to obediently follow orders anyway. Let's talk about the matter regarding the disciples of Tianmen. I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Tianjiao Pavilion." And Lian Wanqing says, "Indeed, I thought they were just a bunch of insignificant rats, but it turns out I underestimated them. These people aren't mere rodents, they're predators, fierce beasts." And Ying Tianqing says, "Exactly, their strength could seriously influence the outcome of the Immortal Demon Grand Competition. Originally, with the loss of a great general on the Immortal Sex side, we should have had a sure victory. Who would have thought that the Tianmen disciples would possess such strength?" And Lian Wanqing says, "So, Brother Ying propose to strike preemptively before the competition begins?" And Ying Tianqing says, "This is Lingshao's city, the territory of the Lingshao Double Hidden Masters. They are neutral hermits. We shouldn't act recklessly. Breaking the rules of Lingshao's city is like asking for death. However, it's necessary to probe them discreetly. At the very least, We need to understand their background and true strength so that other sects can be forewarned. And Lin Wanqing happily says, Brothering, let me handle this. But then someone comes to the place. And she laughs and says, Hee hee, Lin Wanqing, watch your step. The people from Tianmen aren't your average opponents. And hearing that voice, Lin Wanqing looks back and sees a woman at that place. It is a girl. Her name is Yimei. And looking at Yimei, Lin Wanqing is saying, Yimei, you think I'll fail? Don't forget I rank above you. Show some respect. And Yimei says, Lin Wanqing, stop boasting. Fool, haven't you figured it out yet? And then Yimei attacks Lin Wanqing, due to which he gets a cut on his cheek. And Lin Wanqing does not understand when did she attack. And Yimei is saying, if I can harm you, then I can naturally take your life. Enough about rankings, Lin Wanqing. Last time, you barely edged me out during the day and got lucky. My night demon sex techniques are most effective at night, and before this immortal demon grand competition, I've mastered the eternal night unending heart technique to the 7th level. I'm not afraid of daylight. Next time, you might not last 20 moves against me. And Ning Tianqing says to Yimei, Night Demon Sect Yimei. I thought you wouldn't come, and Yimei says, after all, I'm also a part of the demonic faction. My master entrusted me with matters concerning the immortal demon grand competition. I won't neglect them. So, what do you want me to do? And Ning Tianqing says, if you can take the overall situation into consideration, that would be great. I want you to probe the details of the Tianmen people, especially their Prince Lin Fan. He gives off a different vibe. I observed his aura during the day. He's on the verge of a breakthrough. Though currently not a threat to us three, that could change once he does. And Yimei says, yes? Prince Lin Fan of Tianmen, quite the reputation. Then the scene shifts to the immortal faction camp. And we see some people talking. And one of them is a man. One man says, did you hear about the incident at the Tianjiao Pavilion? That newly emerged Tianmen sect turned out to be formidable. One of their disciples defeated the top 20 from the demonic faction in a single move. And the other man says, I heard. Our 2 holy sons from the Yuhua clan in Tianjiao Pavilion who witnessed it firsthand. It seems more than one person has such strength, maybe 2, or even 3. And Chen Qifeng and the little girl are listening to what those people are saying. And another man says, wow, I only heard Tianmen's Prince Lin Fan once defeated Xingyun Sect's 3 holy sons, but I didn't know there were others as strong as him. Tianmen sect is impressive. Their disciples, all under 25, possess such strength. They might soon challenge the top 3 positions on the Heaven's Pride list. And Chen Qifeng is saying, looks like junior brother Lin and the others made quite a stir, but in a way, it's a good thing. And the little girl says, I thought so, no wonder Immortal Sect's disciples were dismissive of Lise during the day and respectful at night. And Chen Qifeng says, indeed. It seems those from the Immortal Sect's disciples can't shake their tendency for favoritism, just like those from the demonic faction. Anyway, let's head to Tianjiao Pavilion and meet junior brother Lin and the others. Then the scene shifts to Tianjiao Pavilion, guest room. And Lin Fan is talking to the system, do you have other means to increase my strength quickly? And the system says to Lin Fan, I'm the system, not your mother. If you want to get stronger, earn points to exchange for upgrades. I won't provide any shortcuts. And Lin Fan gets angry on hearing this and says, I knew you'd say that. But by defeating the demonic faction's disciples, I should have gained favor with the immortal faction. Why haven't my points increased? And the system says it's not that simple. In order to increase favorability, you need a karmic connection or at least to have met the person. Otherwise, it would be too easy. Helping an old lady cross the street is more practical than scheming. And Lin Fan feels good after listening to the system. And the system further explains, but hey, considering your current situation, you've done well. I might just give you some benefits. Hidden mission activated. Mission objective, befriend a disciple of the demonic faction, and raise their favorability above 60 points. And Lin Fan gets happy on hearing this and he says this is a mission. A reward of 2,000 points. Did the sun rise in the west? And the system says to Lin Fan, this is your chance, host. And Lin Fan hugs the system and says to it, "You're the best." And the system is saying to Lin Fan, "Where's your integrity?" And the system is thinking, "But how will the story unfold next? I hope you won't disappoint me." After this the scene shifts. And we see Mei, who is very badly injured. And let me tell you beforehand that some part of this place is missing. And sorry for that. And someone is saying to Mei, "Bold demoness, are you trying to challenge the rules I have set?" And Mei is saying, "Senior, the junior dare not break the rules set by you and the other seniors. I had no intention of killing anyone, I just wanted to spar." But the senior says, "Sparring is fine, but the rule of Lishao City is no bullying the weak, the gap between your realms is too large. How can this be considered a spar? If you truly want to spar, for the sake of fairness, I must seal your cultivation according to the rules of Lishao City." And Mei says, "This is the mantra of Shakyamuni. Seal my cultivation, this." And Mei is thinking, looking at Lin Fan, "This kid is very strange. If my cultivation is sealed, I might not be his match." And then Lin Fan asks the senior to wait. And the senior says to him, "Kid, do you have any objections? I'm helping you, don't be ungrateful." And Lin Fan says, "This junior dare not, I appreciate your kindness, senior. The rule of Lingxiao City is fair competition, but if you seal the cultivation of this demoness, it won't be considered fair. Because if you do that, then she won't be my match for even one move." And then Lin Fan talks mind to mind with someone. Then that senior says, "Oh? You're very confident in your skills. Interesting. I have hosted dozens of immortal and demon competitions, but haven't seen a young person as interesting as you in a long time." And then Lin Fan gets favorability from his senior, which makes him happy, and he thinks, just as I thought, the more reclusive an expert is, the more they likes unique juniors, just like teachers on Earth who remember mischievous students. And the senior is saying to Lin Fan, "Lin Fan, you're talking in class again. Go stand outside of the classroom as punishment." And Lin Fan says, "To ignore her as Natan? Have a better proposal, would you consider it?" So the senior says, "I see. Interesting, I agree. This is the Kasaya Heart Sutra from ancient Buddhism. With its blessing, any injuries you sustain in the next 3 hours will be healed quickly. You can fight without worrying about affecting the competition between immortals and demons." And Lin Fan is thinking, "Great, now I can use the sacred origin formula/art without restraint and feel its power in advance." And a lot of spiritual energy starts coming out from within Lin Fan. And seeing this, Mei is not able to understand anything, and looking at Lin Fan she is thinking, how has this kid's aura suddenly become so strong? Is this his trump card? And the senior laughs and says, "Ha ha ha, it seems you weren't boasting. Young man, I think highly of you. It looks like Zhao Yanren has taken in a good disciple. The matter between you and the Night Demon sect is now yours to handle. I won't interfere in your matter anymore." And Lin Fan thanked the senior. Then he says, "Now, it's just between you and me, Miss Mei." And Mei is saying, "Not good, I didn't expect this kid to have such a trump card. Let's attack first to gain the upper hand." And Mei attacks Lin Fan. But Lin Fan easily blocks all her attacks, seeing which Mei gets scared and says, "That's the Crimson Demon Sex technique?" And Mei is thinking, how does he know the Crimson Demon Sex technique? Could it be that he had the same innate Taoist body as Jiang Daili? He secretly stole the technique of the Crimson Demon sect when he fought against the Crimson Demon sect? And Lin Fan gets ready to attack Mei. And we see that the ground around Mei starts breaking. And then a huge attack happens on Mei, seeing what Lin Fan is saying, as expected of the third-ranking demonic figure in this demon and immortal competition. She's still alive? And Mei says to Lin Fan, he has such potential in the nascent soul realm. If he grows, he could be 10 times scarier than Jiang Daili. I must take this information back. And Mei also gets ready to attack Lin Fan. But Lin Fan is not affected by this. He also moves forward to attack Mei, and he is saying, "You think you can escape that easily? Limitless Universe Divine Technique. Break the void." And due to Lin Fan's attack, Mei starts bleeding from her mouth. And she is thinking, the 8th level of Tianmen's limitless universe divine technique? How can someone in the nascent soul realm know? And he may faints. And seeing her, Lin Fan is saying, this was difficult. Should I kill her? If I don't, my trump card will be exposed. But if I kill her, those who sent her will know it was me. Any significant sect has life tokens for important figures. If I make a move, they will immediately get to know about it, which will cause unnecessary trouble. I can't kill her or let her go. The best option would be to keep her with me. The next day at the demonic camp, Lin Wanqing is saying, what's going on? A whole night has passed, and Yi Mei still hasn't returned? And Ning Tianqing says, have you asked the Night Demon sect? How's her life token? And Lin Wanqing says, I asked, she is not dead, nor can she die. Besides brothering, who else in Li Shao's city could harm her? Let alone kill her. And Ning Tianqing says, that's strange. Even though she's a free spirit but wouldn't disappear at such a crucial moment. It must be related to that Tianmen kid. And Lin Wanqing says, what should we do, brothering? Then Ning Tianqing says, for now, ignore her, the immortal and demon competition is going to start in 2 hours. And the top 3 seeds from both the immortal and demon factions will not compete for the next few days. According to the schedule, today is the elimination round. As long as we find Yumi before then, it'll be fine. Then the scene shifts, Tianjiao Pavilion. He little girl has locked Yi Mei. And she says, now it's done, Brother Lin, you're really skilled, you actually managed to capture the 3rd rank Yi Mei from the demonic list. And Lin Fan says, hey Linger, don't slander me. You're the one who tied her up, not me. And the little girl laughs and says, ha ha ha, Brother Lin Fan, you always like to joke. But seriously, how did you do it? I remember her cultivation is very high. But Lin Fan says, adults' matters are none of the kids' business. And keep this secret from others. And the little girl says, all right, I know. Besides, I'm not a kid anymore, geez. And Lin Fan says, I knew Linga was the most obedient. Let's get ready to go to the arena. Brother Qin and the others have already left. We need to hurry. And the little girl says, yes, sir. Brother Lin sure likes to pull off impressive feats. But this demoness is well developed. Brother Lin must have taken a liking to her. Brother Lin always calls me a kid. I want to see how big this demoness really is. An hour later at the competition venue. And the little girl is saying, no. It can't be. It doesn't make sense. The gap between people can't be that big. And Qin Shi Feng says to the little girl, Sister Su, what are you mumbling about? And Zhao Yuhua says, what's wrong? Are you nervous? And Ji Ping says, don't worry, with Sister Ping here, no one can be able to hurt you. And Lin Fan says, sure. Someone's coming. After this the scene shifts. And we see another place where the senior comes. And seeing him all the people are very happy and they are saying, it's Venerable Yun. No way, is Venerable Yun actually overseeing this elimination match? Wasn't it supposed to be Venerable Feng? And the other man says, we're doomed. Even if we survive, we'll be left in tatters. I'm just here to make up the numbers. And a girl is saying, Mom, I want to go home. And Lin Fan is thinking, is it him? The senior who helped me last night? And Qin Shi Feng says, the Venerable Yun is overseeing. This is bad. And Lin Fan says, why do you say that, Senior Brother Chun? So Qin Shi Feng says, you all may not know. The beginning of the Immortal and Demon Grand Competition is due to the scarcity of resources in this declining era. In order to settle countless disputes over secret realms, the Immortal and Demon factions decided to use this competition, moderated by retired senior figures, to allocate secret realm resources. The 2 representative figures are Venerable Yun and Venerable Feng, also known as the twin hermits of Ling Shao's city. Among them, Venerable Yun is known for his eccentric personality. Every competition he oversees results in over half of the participants getting injured or worse. That's why everyone is so scared. And after listening to his words, Lin Fan understands and he is thinking, however, this is an opportunity for me. The fiercer the competition, the more I can build my reputation. Anyway, everyone here is just trash to me. Then the senior asks everyone to keep quiet, and he is saying, This immortal and demon grand competition will be overseen by me, and the rules are very simple. Excluding 6 seeded contestants, and those who cannot participate for various reasons, there are 90 of you here. We will select 9 participants each from the immortal and demon factions in this elimination match. So, ultimately, 12 from each immortal and demon factions will compete for the allocation of 12 secret realms. And Lin Fan is thinking, 90 into 9, meaning each of us has to eliminate 9 others to qualify? And the senior takes out a magical artifact and says, "You will all enter my magical artifact, where I shall explain the details of advancement." And then we see a man, Chi Jie, young master of the Crimson Demon sect, ranked 5th on the Earth Demon list. And he is saying, "Damn it, the intel was wrong. It's an elimination match hosted by Venerable Yun, not a ring match hosted by Venerable Foam. How will we fulfill the mission given by the Heavenly Demon sect to eliminate the disciples of the Tianmen sect?" And his partner says, "Young master, don't worry. Even in an elimination match, we can find opportunities to kill the Tianmen sect disciples." Another man says, "That's right, this gives us a chance to fight other immortal factions. Our true goal is to make the Crimson Demon sect famous in this competition." And the other man says, "The Tianmen sect people probably think the same. With the young master's strength, qualifying shouldn't be difficult. But the Heavenly Demon sect warned us to be wary of the Tianmen sect. They might have hidden trump cards." And Chi Jie says, "Humph, I know. Those Tianmen sect disciples survived our assassination attempts, so they're not ordinary. But neither am I. To establish a foothold in the demonic factions, we need the support of the Heavenly Demon sect. No matter what, I must fulfill the promise to Brother Ing. To eliminate the Tianmen sect disciples here." Then the senior says to all of them, "All right, without further ado. I shall now bring you inside the magical artifact space. The Immortal and Demon Grand Competition's elimination match officially begins." And the senior starts sending all of them to that place. And after sending all of them, we see that an elder comes to that place, and he is saying, "Looks like these young Immortal and Demon factions participants are in for a tough time, Yun." And the senior removes his mask and says, "Why are you here? Didn't we agree that I would oversee this?" Then the elder says, "Don't misunderstand, I'm just here for some fun. I've accepted your jar of immortal wine, I won't break my promise. I'm just curious. We normally don't care about these trivial matters as Immortal and Demon Grand Competition. What's gotten into you to use such a good jar of wine for this thankless job? Are you bored from being in seclusion for too long?" And the senior says, "No, I found an interesting junior." So the elder says, "A junior who catches your attention must be extraordinary. I'm curious to see what kind of person could interest Yun Ziyue. Ah, what a good wine." Then the scene shifts to inside the magical artifact space. And we see Lin Fan falling down at a place. Then he tries to get up, but he is in pain. But when he looks ahead, Zhao Yuehua is in front of him. Lin Fan is surprised to see Zhao Yuehua, and Zhao Yuehua is saying, "This is Venerable Yun's magical artifact space. So vast, truly a testament to one of the contemporary giants." And Lin Fan is asking, "Where are the others?" And as Lin Fan looks back, there is someone in front of him. And we see Chi Jie's team and his partner. He is saying, "Young master, look over there." And the little girl and Qin Shi Feng are also looking at that man. Then the man says, "Everyone, I am the artifact spirit of this Sumera world. I shall now announce the rules of this elimination match. You must have noticed that upon entering the Sumera world, you were transported to different areas. This is to ensure fairness and reduce the impact of excessive teamwork on individual strength, as the goal is to select the strongest 9 participants in this elimination match." And Lin Fan is saying, "I see, it seems Senior Brother Chen and the others were transported to other areas as well, but the transport doesn't seem random. It likely separated Immortal and Demon faction members into different areas." And the spirit says, "Yes, now I shall explain the rules of this elimination match. Please look at your palms." And as soon as they look at their hands, there is a mark on their hands, seeing which they are all very surprised. And the spirit is telling, the symbol in everyone's palms is the key to leave the Sumera world and to advance deeper into it. The Sumera world has 3 layers. In the first layer, you need to eliminate 45 participants, either by killing them or forcing them to destroy their symbols and leave the Sumru world. Once half the participants are eliminated, the second layer will open. No restrictions on methods or targets. The time limit is 3 days. If the second layer doesn't open after 3 days, everyone shall be eliminated. Once you reach the second layer, I shall continue to explain the next elimination rules. And Lin Fan says, looks like we're turned into a bunch of birds in a cage. And Zhao Yuhua says, but with a way to leave voluntarily, and given that the participants are immortal and demon geniuses, many might value their lives and choose to leave, right? And Lin Fan says, maybe, but not many. Those here are at least geniuses of their respective sections. Geniuses have strong wills and won't give up easily. Besides, this place, though dangerous, holds great opportunities. And Zhao Yuhua is surprised to hear this. Then Lin Fan says, that's right, opportunities. Among the previous participants of the immortal and demon competition, those who stood out in the elimination match often quickly broke through their realms. On the one hand, this is related to making contributions to their sex, raising their reputation and status, and also earns rewards from their sections. On the other hand, the Venerable will give certain rewards to talented people who perform well. Therefore, I must stand out in this elimination match. That way, I can improve my reputation, status, and strength, and get closer to Yanran. And Zhao Yuhua says, I see, then let's not waste time anymore. I'm not one to be patient. Lin Fan, let's take the initiative. Then we see some people surrounding 2 girls. And a man is laughing. And a girl is saying, we're all from the demonic faction. You want to fight among ourselves? So one of the men says, fight among ourselves? You're just a subsidiary sect of the Night Demon sect. Are you even worthy of associating with us? And another man says, with your little strength, you're just here to make up the numbers. Staying will only hinder our performance. If you're smart, leave the Sumru world quickly, otherwise, don't blame Lise for being ruthless. And the girl says, you're too much. Ganging up on the weak, what kind of man are you? And all of them together attack those 2 girls. And they are saying, Humph, you ungrateful bitch. I'm a member of the demonic cult. I don't follow worldly rules. Enough chit-chatting, breathers, get them. And then the girls are shouting for help. And then Lin Fan and Zhao Yuhua come to that place, and both of them together start beating those people badly. And seeing this, the girls get hope. Then we see that Lin Fan and Zhao Yuhua have defeated those people very easily. And Zhao Yuhua is saying, you have 2 choices, leave the Sumru world. Or die. And those people are saying, so strong, we've encountered a tough one. What do we do, young master? I thought we'd at least get through the first round, but we encountered a tough one early on. I value my life, I'm out. And those people are scared of those 2 and start running away from this place. And only one man is left at that place. And Lin Fan looks at those people and says, humph, bunch of cowards. Then Zhao Yuhua is asking the girls, are you okay? So the girl says, I'm fine. Thank you, sister. Which sect are you from? And as soon as Zhao Yuhua touches that girl, we see that light starts coming out of that girl's body. And Zhao Yuhua says, sorry, little sister, we're not from the demonic faction. And Lin Fan says to that girl, it's too dangerous for you here. Go back to reality. I don't want to hurt you. So that girl says, so that's it, but thank you. At least we weren't defeated by our own kind. And Lin Fan gets favorability points from that girl. And Lin Fan is thinking, it's really difficult to raise favorability to over 60. And Zhao Yuhua is saying, huh? Are you flirting with everyone you see? Are the rumors in sect true? I didn't expect you to have a gentlemanly side for these demonesses. Is it because they're pretty? I warn you, Unfan, you already have Linger and Ji Ping, yet you're still so flirting around. Beware of being struck by lightning. And Lin Fan says nervously, what nonsense are you spouting? I see Linger as my little sister, and Ji Ping is impossible. You're slandering me. And Zhao Yuhua says, oh, really? Then both of them start going ahead, and Lin Fan is saying, whatever, I'm not talking to you. Let's find the others. Then the scene shifts to Tianjiao Pavilion. And Yi Mei opens her eyes and she is not able to understand where she is. And she is saying, where am I, Why am I tied up? I remember losing to Lin Fan last night. Was it him? Wait, why does it hurt like someone pinched me hard there? And the real culprit is a little girl. And Ime is saying, my clothes. Were they touched? And that place. Could it be? And Ime gets very angry, but she can't do anything now. Then we see the other side. Lin Fan and Zhao Yuehua stop at a place, and Lin Fan is saying, how strange, given my cultivation strength, I should be immune to all kinds of diseases. Why am I sneezing? And Zhao Yuehua says, you must have gotten into some romantic trouble and are being cursed for it, you flirt. And Lin Fan says, hey, what do you think I am? And then Zhao Yuehua hears something and she says to Lin Fan, there's something ahead. Quick, conceal your aura. And then we see a man who moves forward to attack someone. And he has attacked a girl, and one of the girls is saying, Wan Jianqing, you, a scum of the immortal sect, actually colluded with the demon faction to ambush us. I, the disciple of the 100-flower sect, will not let you off. I'll fight you to the death. And Wan Jianqing says, don't overestimate your capabilities. Then Wan Jianqing activates his power, seeing which the girl gets scared. And Wan Jianqing makes a dangerous attack on that girl, due to which the girl gets injured and dies. And seeing this, Shui Wuhan is saying, Brother Jianqing, you are indeed decisive and ruthless. No wonder you're ranked 6th on the list of geniuses. And Wan Jianqing says, enough flattery, brother, when? Your blood palm is endless and unpredictable. I'm not sure if I could beat you. And Shui Wuhan says, so it's unwise for us to be enemies now, isn't it, Brother Jianqing? Eliminating some weaker ones quickly will prevent everyone from being eliminated in 3 days. Cooperating with me is a wise choice, Brother Jianqing. And Wan Jianqing is saying, of course, these weaklings, hiding and causing trouble, are a nuisance to us. Besides, I don't want to face powerful ones like you so early. Let's save our fight for the final battle. And Lin Fan and Zhao Yuehua are watching all this by hiding, and Lin Fan is saying, what? They're cooperating to eliminate their own weaker members? And Zhao Yuehua says, and they call themselves righteous sects? As expected, these guys are all hypocrites. And they both are about to attack another man, and that man is saying to them, Shui Wuhan, Wan Jianqing, we're willing to leave the Sumeru world voluntarily. And Shui Wuhan says, if we let you leave, wouldn't it expose what Brother Jianqing and I are doing? And Wan Jianqing says, who knows if you'll ruin our reputation outside? To us, the only secret keepers are the dead. And Wan Jianqing attacks that man and kills him. And seeing this, Zhao Yuehua is saying, dogs biting dogs. Let's turn a blind eye and ignore it. And Lin Fan is saying, that's not okay. And he is thinking, I need to gain favor. A life-saving grace should do it. And then Lin Fan starts walking towards them, and seeing him going, Zhao Yuehua says to him, stay here, if I can handle them, help me escape. And Shui Wuhan says, despite being ranked in the top 20, you dodged Brother Jianqing's sword. But it's just a struggle before death. And Shui Wuhan moves forward to attack that girl. But then Lin Fan comes forward to save that girl and stops Shui Wuhan's attack. And seeing this, Shui Wuhan is surprising, because Lin Fan is very powerful. And so Shui Wuhan steps back, and Wan Jianqing says, what? Who dares to spoil my plans? And Lin Fan asks that girl whether she is okay or not? And that girl is looking at Lin Fan and thinking, nah, a handsome guy rescues at just the right time. I've nailed it. And Lin Fan gets plus 80 favorability points from that girl. And that girl says to Lin Fan, thank you, brother. May I ask your name? So Lin Fan tells that girl, Tianmen sect Lin Fan. And as soon as she hears about the girl Tianmen sect, she gets very angry, and the favorability points that Lin Fan has got becomes minus 30. And Lin Fan gets very shocked to see this, and he is thinking, why did my favorability suddenly decrease so much? And Lin Fan is asking the system, hey, system, does this count as completing the task? And the system says, of course not. Then that girl says, it turns out to be Tianmen sect. 3 years ago, someone stole the opportunity of this Lamb Emperor's inheritance from me. That person was Zhao Yuehua of Tianmen sect. And on hearing this, Lin Fan gets very angry at Zhao Yuehua and he thinks, so it was you who spoiled my plans. And Zhao Yuehua thinks, I told you not to interfere. Then that girl, while leaving from this place, says, since you saved me today, I'll let that matter go. I won't hold a grudge against Tianmen sect anymore. Goodbye. But we see that Xue Wuhan is getting very angry, and he is saying, damn it, she escaped. This will cause trouble outside. And Wan Jianxin says, you bastard. I don't care who you are, you must die today. And Lin Fan says, it seems the two of you aren't in a good mood. Perfect, I'm also in a bad mood. So I'll vent my anger on you too. And Xue Wuhan says, vent your anger on us? What a joke. You don't even know your own strength. And Wan Jianxin says, you said you're a Tianmen sect disciple. Is it the Tianmen sect recently recognized as one of the great immortal sects? When your sect leader lobbied for recognition, my Wan Jian sect did you a favor. Later, when your disciples were ambushed by Crimson Demon sect, it was our elder Jian Lanxin who saved you. Now you spoil my plans, you ungrateful bastard. And Xue Wuhan says, Tianmen sect? This name sounds familiar. And Xue Wuhan is thinking, right, the young master of the heavenly demon sect warned me to be cautious of Tianmen sect, especially Lin Fan. Yes, it's him. Someone who can make the heavenly demon sect fearful can't be a nobody. It's perfect to use Wan Jianxin to test Lin Fan's capabilities. Dogs biting dogs. I'll sit back and enjoy the show. And Xue Wuhan says, Brother Jianxin, since he's from your faction, I'll leave him to you. So joining forces to deal with an unknown pawn is really too flattering to him. And Wan Jianxin says, are you one to follow rules, Excelli Wuhan? Very well, dealing with this brat doesn't require your help. Watch how I kill him in an instant. And Lin Fan says, kill me instantly? Even if your father comes here, I have a trump card to knock him down, let alone a small fry like you. And Wan Jianxin gets angry on hearing Lin Fan's words, and he directly attacks Lin Fan, and he is saying, you dare insult my father? Today I'll cut you down. And seeing Wan Jianxin's attack, Lin Fan is thinking, Wan Jianxin ranks 6th on heaven's proud list. Though not as strong as me, he's Wan Jian sect's ace. I can't underestimate him. I better take him down before he uses his trump cards. And Wan Jianxin is saying, no wonder you dare to provoke us. It turns out that your kid's cultivation level is already the same as ours. But Wan Jian sect's swordsmanship gives me an edge. Today, I'll show you the power of Wan Jian sect's ultimate sword technique. Dragon Roar Sword, transform. And Lin Fan says, indeed, worthy of being one of the 9 great immortal sections. If not for this, the fight would be too dull. Alright, I'll face your strongest move head on. Limitless Universe Divine Technique. Supreme Defense. And Wan Jianxin is saying, Tianmen sect's Ancestor's technique, but you've only mastered it to the 6th level. Let me break this move of yours. Dragon Roar Sword Technique. Azure Dragon pursues the sun. And Wan Jianxin makes a dangerous attack on Lin Fan. And Lin Fan creates a barrier to stop his attack, and seeing the power of both of them, Xue Wuhan is saying, I didn't expect the Myriad Sword sect to actually give Wan Jianxin the real Dragon Roar Sword. This move's power surpasses the transformation realm. Can Lin Fan withstand it? And Zhao Yuehua is saying, the power of this move far surpasses the nascent soul realm. Can Lin Fan withstand it? And we see that Lin Fan's barrier starts breaking, and Wan Jianxin is saying happily, you're holding on longer than I expected. Would hold the Dragon Roar Sword, I might not win. But your luck ends here. The technique you were proud of has been destroyed by me. And Wan Jianxin starts increasing his power even more. But Lin Fan is not affected by this and he says, destroyed my technique? What a joke! If I focused entirely on defense, how could I attack? And Wan Jianxin is thinking, he's attacking while defending? Impossible! And Lin Fan says, limitless divine technique. Break the universe. And Lin Fan breaks Wan Jianxin's sword very easily, due to which we see that blood starts coming out of Wan Jianxin's mouth, and he loses. And Lin Fan is saying, you were talking so arrogantly, I thought you were a master. Pathetic. And Xue Wuhan is thinking, I didn't expect him to defeat Wang Jianqing. Though Jianqing didn't use his real trump cards, if I use Blood Demon technique to boost my power, what are my chances to win against him? And Lin Fan looks at Shui Wuhan and says to him, want to try being blown away? And Shui Wuhan starts running away from this place very fast, and he is saying, no, I'm just an acquaintance of Wang Jianqing. Farewell. And he is thinking, now isn't the time to fight him. I must conserve strength. And Lin Fan is saying, he ran away so quickly. They say blood demon sex techniques excel in bursts. It's indeed true. And then Zhao Yuehua comes and she says, Lin Fan, to think you've mastered our ancestors' technique to this level. No wonder you're her disciple. The sect leader said I was far inferior to you. I was not convinced. Now I see I was shallow. And Lin Fan gets plus 20 favorability points from Zhao Yuehua. And Lin Fan says thank you to Zhao Yuehua. And Zhao Yuehua is saying, but your strength is formidable. Avoid showing off too much next time. It's just the first round. Exposing too much strength makes you a target. Got it? And Lin Fan says, got it. But senior sister Zhao, isn't the point of this competition to showcase our Tianmen sect's strength? A little flashiness isn't bad, right? The competition is fierce. I'm worried about Linger. Among our disciples, she's the weakest. We'd better hurry and find her. And Zhao Yuehua says, Lin Fan, you worry too much. Although weak in direct combat, our Tianmen sect disciples are never simple. After this the scene shifts. And we see the little girl and Qin Shi Feng, who are hiding behind a rock. And some people are searching for them. Then we see Qianqing. Another man comes to him and tells, young master, based on the blood traces, we've tracked those two Tianmen sect disciples to a cave ahead. And another man says, finally cornered our prey. Then Qianqing says, Qin Shi Feng, you eliminated two of our Fengma sect disciples. It's time to settle that score. And the other man says, young master, Qin Shi Feng is quite powerful. We should proceed with caution. And Qianqing says, he was hit by my wind blade palm during the melee. The force of the wind blade palm gradually tears the wound, eventually causing the victim's meridians to rupture and die. Since so much time has passed, his injuries should have flared up by now. He's already a candle in the wind, hardly worth worrying about. Our Fengma sect specializes in group combat, and is weak in direct battles. We don't expect to stand out in the elimination match and advance to the finals. What we need to do is help other sects eliminate the coarse strength of the immortal sects. A seemingly insignificant disciple of the Tianmen sect actually has the strength to rank in the top 10 of Heaven's proud ranking. He is definitely a hidden threat that must be dealt with quickly. Everyone listen up. Set up the formation and take down the Tianmen sect's disciple's head. And then those people get attacked. And seeing this the man gets shocked and he says, not good. Wind shadow step. Qin Shi Feng. And the one who attacks Qianqing is Qin Shi Feng. And seeing Qin Shi Feng, Qianqing is saying, how? How is this possible? Weren't you already severely injured and on the brink of death? And Qin Shi Feng says, brother Qianqing, you still underestimate us, the disciples of Tianmen sect. Among the third-generation disciples who are participating in this competition, my strength is the weakest. Your mistake was that you underestimate us too much. And Qianqing says, recovering from such severe injuries so quickly can only be done with a legendary Wood Emperor physique. Although Qin Shi Feng is strong, from his spiritual energy, he doesn't seem to possess the Wood Emperor physique. In group battles, you are definitely not my opponent. If you voluntarily exit the Summer world, I can spare your life. Was ultimately defeated due to insufficient information. Before their ancestor emerged from seclusion, the Tianmen sect was relatively unknown, so we had too little information about them. And Qianqing attacks Qin Shi Feng. And seeing his attack, Qin Shi Feng says, brother Qianqing, it looks like you're determined to fight me. And Qin Shi Feng destroys Qianqing's attack. And Qin Shi Feng's attack is very dangerous, which Qianqing tries to stop. But we see that Qin Shi Feng has a lot of power, and everything at that place gets destroyed. But Qianqing runs away from this place, and we see Qianqing is huffing outside and saying that Qin Shi Feng was hiding his true strength all along. That was close. Thankfully, I acted decisively. If I had hesitated even a little, I might have become a ghost under his sword by now. What a joke. The weakest third-generation disciple? Do you take me for a fool? Then the scene shifts to inside the tower. And the other disciple is saying, "So, Zhou Xingtan, weren't you quite arrogant just now? Trying to outnumber us, you didn't expect us to have backing, right?" And the third disciple says, "The young master of the sacred demon sect can't even take 3 moves from our big sister. It's really embarrassing." Is this it? Is this the strength of the sacred demon sect? And Jiping says, "Humph. That's enough." And the third disciple is saying, "What the big sister said is right." And the second disciple says, "Listen up, the big sister is going to give a lecture." And the man who is bent over is thinking, "Damn it, bullying with power, but where did this girl come from? Why is she so strong?" There was no information about her before the competition. And Jiping says, "You can leave now. I don't like seeing blood. You understand the rules of winners and losers, right?" Then the man says, Thank you for sparing us. We'll leave now." But he is thinking, "At least we're still alive. I don't know where this fierce star came from. Brothers from other demon sects, take care of yourselves." Then they leave this place. And the second disciple is saying, "Big sister, are we just letting them go?" And the third disciple says, "Impudence. What the big sister says goes. How dare you question her? If she hadn't saved Lise earlier, we'd be dead by now." And the other disciple is thinking, "I didn't expect you to be more of a flatterer than I am." And the third disciple says, "Big sister, where should we go next? If you say east, I will definitely not go west." And Jiping says, "Considering the time that has passed, the number of eliminations should be about enough. It's time to join Lin Fan and the others." Then the scene shifts. And we see Lin Fan and Zhao Yuehua. Then Qi Jie is watching them secretly, and he says, "I've finally found you, Lin Fan." Then he remembers what his father told him, and Qi Jie says to his father, "Father, your injuries, what happened to you?" And his father tells him, cough cough, "It's all because of the Tianmen sect. The ancestor Zhao Yanren of the Tianmen sect used their position to bully the weak and attacked me without following the rules." And his father is thinking, "I can't exactly say I was beaten by the ancestor." And Qi Jie gets very angry and says, "Father, don't worry, I will avenge you." And remembering all these things, Qi Jie says, "Whether it's for the demon sect's request or for your revenge, Lin Fan, today you and I will have a decisive battle." And then Lin Fan feels something and he says to Zhao Yuehua, "Did you sense it, Sister Zhao?" And Zhao Yuehua says, Someone is spying on us from the shadows. From the killing intent, they are enemies, not friends." And Lin Fan says, "Considering the time, half a day has passed. It's about time to eliminate more people. I estimate the second level of the Sumeru world should open soon." Just in time, and then both of them are attacked. But Zhao Yuehua saved Lin Fan from that attack. And we see that Qi Jie and his companions come in front of them. And seeing those people, Zhao Yuehua is saying, "So it's the Crimson Demon sect. Just right, we still haven't settled the score for the assassination attempt against us last time. Martial God domain." And Zhao Yuehua gets ready to fight with those people and starts releasing her aura. And seeing Zhao Yuehua's power, a man is saying, "What? How can she have the aura of the true martial emperor?" And then Zhao Yuehua moves forward to attack that man, and defeats him in a single fist. And another man is surprised to see this, and he is saying, "How is this possible? Zhou Dai was instantly defeated. Who exactly is that woman?" And the other man says, "Didn't say that only Lin Fan is very strong?" And Qi Jie is saying, Zhou Dai was just careless. You two hold off that woman, I'll deal with Lin Fan first, and then come to help you against her." And Lin Fan says, "Are you coming for me?" And then Lin Fan starts running away very fast, and seeing this Qi Jie is saying, "Want to ruin? Lin Fan, today I will kill you." And Qi Jie starts going behind Lin Fan, and a man is saying, "Young master, don't be impulsive. Be careful, it might be a trap." And his other friend says, "Stop shouting. The young master knows what he's doing. While the young master deals with Lin Fan, we will take care of this woman." And Zhao Yuehua is saying to them, Lin Fan, are you trying to hog all the good stuff again? Sigh, fine, I'll just use these 2 small fries to warm up. And Qi Jia is chasing Lin Fan and saying, Lin Fan, is running all you can do? Damn it! Do you dare to fight me head-on? And Lin Fan says to Qi Jia, catch up to me frat, and then we'll talk. I'm getting bored here. Is this the best the young master of the Crimson Demon sect can do? You haven't even mastered basic flying techniques? So Qi Jia says, you're just good at running your mouth. Running fast is pointless. Today, I'll show you what I'm capable of. Crimson Flame Art, Flame Demon Prison. And Qi Jia stops Lin Fan from running away. And Lin Fan is surprised to see this. Then Qi Jia again attacks Lin Fan, and we see that there is fire all around Lin Fan. And Qi Jia laughingly says to Lin Fan, ha ha ha, Lin Fan, I thought you had some special skills that made the people of the Heavenly Demon sect fear you so much. It seems like you're not much at all, trapped in my Flame Demon prison, unless you master the Crimson Flame Art, or have the strength of a great master, you're doomed. But Lin Fan says to Qi Jia, thanks for the tip. And Lin Fan uses his power, due to which Qi Jia's attack gets destroyed. And seeing this, Qi Jia is surprised and he is saying, that's the Crimson Flame technique, and at a level not inferior to mine? How is that possible? Damn it! When did you steal and learn our Crimson Demon Sect's technique? And Lin Fan says, I'm a genius. Such a basic technique, I learned it at a glance. What, got a problem? And Qi Jia starts getting angry, and he is saying nonsense. You dare steal our sect's sacred technique, you must die today. And Qi Jia has taken out his blood, seeing which Lin Fan is surprised and he is saying, what exactly is that drop of blood? Why does it give me a sense of dread? And Qi Jia is saying, this is the essence of the Flame Demon Emperor. It can temporarily multiply my strength several times over. And with the help of his blood, Qi Jia starts increasing his power. And we see that his power has increased a lot, seeing what Lin Fan is saying, so this is his trump card. The Crimson Demon sect really went all out for this competition, even using ancient demon blood. And then Qi Jia reaches Lin Fan very fast, and is about to attack him. And seeing this, Lin Fan gets scared, but Lin Fan dodges his attack. But then Qi Jia starts attacking Lin Fan even faster, and he is saying, what's wrong, Lin Fan? Can't hold on already? TCH, so troublesome. I need to finish this quickly. The strength I got from the essence of blood will weaken over time. I can't give him any chance. And Lin Fan is thinking, good thing I'm well versed in the Crimson Demon Sect's techniques. Even if my strength isn't on par with his, I can hold out for a while. I just need to wait until his energy weakens, and then it'll be time for my counterattack. On the other side, Zhao Yuehua is fighting with Qi Jia's friends. And Qi Jia's friends have caught Zhao Yuehua with the help of their power. And a man is laughing and saying, didn't expect it, did you? Our abilities could be integrated to create even greater power. And the other guy says, even if you have the true martial emperor's inheritance, your body is just a bit tougher than ours in the same realm. As long as we don't engage in close combat, you're no threat. And Zhao Yuehua is saying, it seems like the Crimson Demon Sect's disciples are truly elite. Except for that one I killed with a single punch at the start, these two are among the top in this competition. And the other man says, this woman is trapped now. Let's quickly deal with her, and then go support the young master to deal with Lin Fan. Since Lin Fan is highly regarded by the Heavenly Demon Sect, the young master might indeed face danger alone. You're right. Let's finish this woman quickly. But then Zhao Yuehua uses her power and frees herself from their clutches. And attacks them and they fall away. And one man starts bleeding from his mouth. After some time, Lin Fan comes to Zhao Yuehua and Zhao Yuehua is asking Lin Fan, have you finished over there? I thought you deliberately led him away because you weren't confident in dealing with him, and wanted me to finish here first, and then join forces against a stronger enemy. And Lin Fan says it's a piece of cake to deal with a mere Crimson Demon Sect's disciple. I led him away to make him lower his guard. Besides, his trump card was indeed tricky. And he's thinking, if you were nearby, it might have hindered me. But saying this out loud sounds too arrogant, it's better to keep it to myself. And Zhao Yuhua says, that opponent was ranked 5th among the demonic cultivators in this competition, and yet you took him down so easily? Lin Fan, you've really been hiding your true strength. And then a portal opens in front of them, seeing which both of them are surprised, and Lin Fan is saying to Zhao Yuhua, it seems that the 45 participants for the first round have already been determined. It's faster than I expected. And from that portal the senior comes out and he says, everyone, the second level of the Sumeru world has been opened. All remaining participants in the ruins, please head to the center of the Sumeru world and pass through the Sumeru gate to enter the second level. And Zhao Yuhua says, Lin Fan, we should hurry. Let's go. And Lin Fan says, alright, I'm also a bit worried about Linger and the others. I don't know if they're still in the Sumeru world, so we should check on them. And everyone starts leaving this place through that portal. And as they are going out, they see the little girl and Qin Shi Feng. And Lin Fan is happy to see them both and he says, thank goodness. It's Linger and senior brother Zhao, they're safe. And Zhao Yuhua says, I told you your worries were unnecessary. Our Tianmen sect disciples aren't so easily defeated. And the little girl hugs Lin Fan and tells him, finally, we've found you, brother Lin Fan and senior sister Yuhua. You wouldn't believe what we've been through. Those demonic cultivators were so despicable, and Chen Chi Feng is saying, junior sister Linger, the Immortal Demon Grand Competition is extremely dangerous. Whether they're from the Immortal or Demon factions, people will stop at nothing to achieve their goals. If you're afraid, you can always withdraw. We can handle things here without you. And the little girl says to Chen Chi Feng, you cold-blooded, heartless creature. Don't forget, if it wasn't for me, you would have been dead under the Manhwa sect's siege. You act like you're so great. And Qin Shi Feng is thinking, that's harsh. I was just thinking of your safety. Then Lin Fan laughs and says, alright, since everyone's safe, isn't it something to celebrate? And the little girl says, humph. For brother Lin Fan's sake, I won't argue with you, cold-blooded creature. And Zhao Yuhua says, by the way, you two were randomly assigned together, but where's Ji Ping? She didn't get separated, did she? And Lin Fan says, no need to worry about her. Ji Ping has been the most experienced in our generation of disciples when it comes to adventuring alone. With her strength and experience, even if she's alone, she won't lose. And Zhao Yuhua says, that's true. Let's head into the second level. And then they leave the place. Then we see Tianmen sect. And Zhao Yanren is saying, how long has it been since we last met? Then we see another lady, an old ancestor of Yuxian Jade Immortal Sect Yuruyao. And Yuruyao is saying, it's been a long time since anyone called me that. These days there's no one left in the world who can call me that, except you, sister. It's been nearly 3,000 years, hasn't it? And Zhao Yanren says 3,000 years had passed in the blink of an eye. I never imagined that the mischievous little girl who was once the head of the Jade Immortal Sect would now be an old ancestor of an immortal sect. And Yuruyao says, I heard that you've come out of seclusion and broken through to the Great Emperor realm. I've been wanting to come and congratulate you, but the affairs of the sect kept me busy, and I only found time recently. And Zhao Yanren says, is it about the Immortal Demon Grand Competition? So Yuruyao says, indeed. The Immortal Demon Grand Competition is crucial to the ownership of the 10 spiritual realms and the Taishi ruins. It will significantly impact the future development of both the Immortal and Demon factions for the next century. In the last Immortal Demon Grand Competition, our Immortal faction narrowly won, gaining control of the Taishi ruins and 6 spiritual realms. In recent years, we've produced many talents, steadily suppressing the Demon faction. By the way, I heard that after breaking through to the Great Emperor realm, you managed to secure some spots for the competition. It seems your disciple is also participating in it. Given that he has caught your eye, he must be quite extraordinary. Could you introduce him? And then Zhao Yanren remembers Lin Fan and she says, ahem. You came to me to reminisce about the past, but why ask so many detailed questions about the younger generation? And Yuruyao is thinking, why does something seem off? Then she says, forget it, if you won't say, I'll just figure it out myself. And Zhao Yanren says, what are you up to? So Yuruyao says, what's wrong? After all these years of friendship, you won't even let me see your precious disciple? Your little disciple is quite handsome. It looks like he has passed the first stage of the venerable selection. And then we see the senior. And the senior looks a little surprised and he is saying, Yuruyao, this place is within the venerable artifact. No one is allowed to spy, not even if you're an elder from the immortal sect. Alright, there was a minor incident earlier, you needn't worry about it. Now, let me explain the mechanism of this final elimination round. The main test is immortal destiny, not combat power. And we see Lin Fan, who is shocked. Then the scene shifts and Zhao Yanren is saying, it seems Fanner is in good shape and has successfully passed the first test. And Yuruyao says, a mere artifact spirit speaking so arrogantly. If you won't allow me to see him, I'll see what the 3 juniors from the demon faction in this immortal and demonic competition are like. And Zhao Yanren says it's also a good chance to see if the younger generation of the demon faction has progressed significantly compared to before my retreat. And Zhao Yanren is thinking, this girl's personality hasn't changed. Since she has lost interest in Fanner, I should quickly change the subject, or else if she senses my relationship with Fanner, I'll be embarrassed and utterly humiliated. And Yuruyao is speaking, Ime from the Night Demon sect. It's strange that this junior isn't resting and preparing for the finals, but is wandering around at this time. Let's see what she's up to. And Zhao Yanren says the younger generation of the demon faction these days is becoming increasingly restless. And Ime gets very angry with Lin Fan, and she is saying, Lin Fan, you despicable monster. And Zhao Yanren is thinking, hey wait, did she just call Fanner's name? What's going on? Was it just a hallucination because I was too nervous just now? And Ime is saying, Lin Fan, you shameless scoundrel. You've tainted my purity. I'm going to tear you into pieces. And as soon as Zhao Yanren hears what Ime says, she gets very shocked and spits the tea she is drinking on Yuruyao's face. And Yuruyao says, what's wrong, sister? Why the sudden outburst? And now Zhao Yanren gets very angry and she says, I suddenly have an urgent matter. I must end our meeting here. And Yuruyao gets very shocked and nothing makes sense. And she is saying, huh? What's so urgent? And Zhao Yanren shouts, clean lip the sect. Then we see Lin Fan and he is speaking to the senior. I would like to ask you, senior, how do you judge something as illusory as destiny? Moreover, isn't it unfair to judge the competition based on something as subjective as immortal destiny? And the senior says, unfair? In cultivation, sometimes luck is more crucial than strength. Since my birth, I've fought alongside the Venerable for thousands of years and seen many geniuses. Yet, only a few have become the shining figures of an era. As for judging luck, it's simpler than you think. You'll understand soon enough. Let me ask you, do you know why the Venerable values your luck so highly? And Lin Fan says, I don't know. Then Senior says it's because the Venerable, while presiding over the immortal and demonic competition to ease the strife between the two factions, also has personal interests. The personal interest is that the Venerable wants to build good relations and befriend future powerful figures. Thus, the Venerable rewards those who stand out in the elimination rounds generously. And then Lin Fan senses something and says, I sense a very pure energy from this object. What is this? And Senior tells Lin Fan, this is the source of the heavenly Tao. In the entire world, only a few experts can extract this, and even fewer can refine it. And Lin Fan says, is this round of the test about refining the source of the heavenly Tao? So the senior says, that's right, my friend is very perceptive and can understand things immediately. Although the task is to refine and absorb this source, we must still select 9 individuals for the finals. Although usually fewer than 9 are selected, the Venerable will nominate some qualified individuals to complete the number. And Lin Fan says, such a subjective test, but senior, I have another question. If the Supreme wants to build good relations, why not give the source of the heavenly Tao to the top 3 geniuses from the immortal and demonic factions for refinement? And the senior says, some things are hard to understand at your current level and perspective. Remember, a tree standing out in the forest will be blown down by the wind. Those who reveal their talent too early often do not end up successful. And Lin Fan says, a tree standing out in the forest will be blown down by the wind. Senior, I understand now. And the senior says, "All right, you can begin refining the source. I hope you won't let me down." And the senior is thinking, and doesn't disappoint the master. And Lin Fan also agrees to this. Then the scene shifts to a demonic faction camp, and we seeing Tianqing, who has received a letter, and he is saying, "Is this letter truly from my father?" And then a servant comes to him and he says, "Yes, young master, the content of the letter is indeed written by the sect master, and I would never deceive you." And Tianqing says, "All right, you may leave. My father wants me to lose to Jiang Daili and also instructs me to order the representatives of other demon sects to lose the competition." What does this mean? Father must know that my heavenly demon divine art has reached the 7th level. After my defeat by Jiang, I've secluded myself in the abyssal demon realm to defeat him in the competition and clear my shame. But why does father want me to do this without any explanation? What is he thinking? I can't understand it at all. And then someone comes to that place, and Tianqing gets very angry on knowing this, and he says, "Seeking death. Didn't I tell you to leave?" And a girl comes to Tianqing, whom Tianqing recognizes. And the name of this girl is Zhuge. And Tianqing is asking Zhuge, "What are you doing here?" So Zhuge says, "What, now that we are Dao companions, can I come to see you?" And Tianqing says, "Dao companions? You were originally a woman of Lin Wancheng, given to me by him. To break through to the 3 realms of Tianyuan, I had to accept you and integrate both immortal and demonic methods. As part of that, I agreed to take care of your former sect members. But don't think that you can speak to me on an equal footing. If you get angry me, I can kill you at any time." And Zhuge says, "Oh really, if you want to kill me, feel free to do so. Anyway, I've been abandoned by the sect and despised by the immortal sect. To the world, I'm just a fallen woman. What difference does it make if I live or die?" And Tianqing says, "It's a pity that you, as a young genius of the immortal sect, still believe in naive ideals and have been deceived by Lin Wancheng. Do you really believe in love? Foolish. Whether in the demon faction or the immortal path, you're merely a tool." So Zhuge says, "The esteemed young master of the heavenly demon sect speaks with self-mockery. If I'm a tool, aren't you, the young master of the heavenly demon sect, one as well? Are you truly able to act on your own will?" But this makes Tianqing angry, and he grabs Zhuge by the neck and says to her, "Seeking death. You dare eavesdrop on sect secrets." And Zhuge says to Tianqing, "Wait. I'm here to help you. Aren't you curious why your father gave you such orders? I can explain." And Tianqing says, "You'd better not be bluffing. I'll give you a chance. I want to see how you, a former genesis of the immortal sect but now a fallen woman, could uncover my father's true intentions." And Zhuge says to Tianqing, "People grow. Since being betrayed by Lin Wancheng, I am no longer who I used to be. And you, who have never experienced such betrayal, will never understand your father's true intentions. Have you ever considered what would happen if the immortal sect won overwhelmingly in the immortal and demonic competition?" Then Tianqing says, "What would the situation be? Naturally, it would mean that the demonic faction is weakened and the immortal faction has risen. Is that really so hard to figure out?" And Zhuge says, "Haha, this is where you fall short compared to your father. What you say might have been reasonable in the past, but things are different now. I understand the dynamics between the major immortal faction sects better than you. The immortal and demonic competition determines the ownership of the Tai Su ruins and the 10 great spirit realms, which cannot be distributed fairly. Furthermore, with the 9 major immortal faction sects and the newly ascended Tianmen, the overall strength has become quite balanced recently. No sect holds absolute power, and everyone covers these resources. Just imagine if the immortal faction wins overwhelmingly and secures all the spirit realms and Tai Su ruins, what would happen?" And Tianqing says, "The demon faction values strength, so the heavenly demon sect has absolute authority. Distribution won't be a problem. The hypocritical immortal sect members would likely fight brutally among themselves for the benefits, leading to deadly conflict. So this is what Father is aiming for. No wonder Father instructed all the demon sects to recruit aggressively, and spend heavily to buy spies within the immortal sect. Father plans to incite internal strife within the immortal sect, initiate a war, and destroy the major immortal faction sects in one fell swoop. I didn't expect that you, a mere woman, would understand this better than I do. It seems you and Wancheng made a grave mistake abandoning you. He certainly doesn't deserve you. But we see that Zhuge Ling is getting very angry and she is thinking, Lian Wancheng, one day, I will make you understand the price of betrayal. Then Zhuge Ling tells Ying Tianqing, since I am now your woman, I will always consider your needs and help you as best as I can. And Ying Tianqing says, haha, well said. Tonight stay with me and assist me in my breakthrough. And Zhuge Ling says to Ying Tianqing, how naughty. Then we see Lin Fan who is doing his cultivation and he is saying, the source of the heavenly Tao is indeed very pure. However, after reaching the realm of great power, it's no longer just about energy accumulation. Otherwise, if I could absorb the entire source of the heavenly Tao, who knows what realm I could reach. No wonder the top 3 on the genius list are directly qualified to the finals. The opportunity in this elimination round is meaningless to them, and the senior says to Lin Fan, out of 45 participants, only 11 are still absorbing the source of the heavenly Tao, 5 from the demon faction and 6 from the immortal faction. The rest have reached their limits and given up refining. Lin Fan appears to be handling it effortlessly. It seems he has no issues. And the senior is thinking, but I wonder how far he will go in the final round. Each finalist who wins can help their faction secure the ownership of 2 spirit realms, and the faction with the most winners will also gain additional ownership of the Tai Su ruins. This will be crucial for the future development of each faction. What's this? He has already made a breakthrough? Although the source of the heavenly Tao is pure in energy, one must absorb over half of it to break through. Even the most talented geniuses of the past needed over 3 days to absorb half. How is it possible after only half an hour? Absorbing the source of the heavenly Tao tests one's foundation of immortal destiny. This person is still young yet possesses such extraordinary destiny? Unless he has a connection with top experts, such strong immortal destiny is unimaginable. I heard he's Zhao Yanran's disciple, but such a relationship alone shouldn't explain his extraordinary luck. Could he be a reincarnation of a great being? Otherwise, it's hard to explain his strong immortal destiny. Then Lin Fan opens his eyes, and he feels very refreshed, and he says, I didn't expect its breakthrough speed to be so astonishing. The source of the heavenly Tao is truly a treasure. And Senior says, have you already refined the source of the heavenly Tao? And Lin Fan says, yes. What is it, Senior? Is something wrong? And Senior says, have you awakened any memories, like those that don't exist but seem very real? But Lin Fan tells the Senior that he has not found any memories. And Senior thinks that's strange. It shouldn't be possible. Could it be that this kid received some incredible legacy? Or maybe an old-timer took him in as a son-in-law, just because of his pretty face? And Lin Fan says, Senior, did I pass the elimination round? And the Senior says, oh yes. You passed. There were exactly 9 people who made it through this time, quite rare. Since you've passed, I'll send you out of the Sumra world. Just wait calmly for the finals in 3 days. Go ahead. And Lin Fan says thank you to the Senior and starts leaving from this place. And the Senior is saying, how odd. It seems I should report this to the Master. After all, the Master didn't make a mistake. This kid's destiny with immortality is frighteningly strong. Then Lin Fan comes out and he is saying happily, finally got out of that damn place. I wonder how the others are doing. But there's no need to worry. The second round only tests the strength of immortal destiny and doesn't endanger lives. I'd better go back and get some sleep. Maybe when I wake up, I'll know the results. Strange, why do I feel like I'm being targeted by a strong killing intent? Oh, I think I forgot something. I left Yimei tied up in the Tianjiao pavilion. Damn it, who knows how long this elimination round will take. She's probably escaped by now. And as soon as Lin Fan takes Yimei's name, Yimei comes to him very fast, seeing which Lin Fan is surprised. And Yimei is very angry with Lin Fan, and she is saying to Lin Fan, I'd been waiting for you for so long, and you finally show up. And Lin Fan says, damn. Is my mouth blessed? Speak of the devil and she's here. Anime says to Lin Fan, it's time to settle the score for what you did to me. And Lin Fan is surprised and he is saying, settle the score? What do you mean? Ime, I only tied you up and didn't harm your life. We're from different factions and naturally enemies, but I've shown you mercy. What more is there to settle? And Ime is saying, you'd better have only done that. You know what else you've done. I didn't expect Zhao Yanran's disciple to act so despicably. Really. On the other side we see Zhao Yanran, who is moving very fast towards Lin Fan, and she is thinking, strange, what's happening to me? Is this feeling jealousy, or is it anger? As the ancestor of the Tianmen sect, how could I be so disturbed by a minor figure from the demon faction? No, that's not it. I'm angry because of the sect's reputation, not because of some petty rivalry. Yes, that's right, it's Lin Fan's fault. Never mind, Leishao's city is almost here. I'll see Lin Fan first. And Ime is moving towards Lin Fan and Lin Fan is saying to Ime, hold on, what's going on? I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't done anything excessive to you, so you don't need to be so petty, right? But then Ime hugs Lin Fan and says to him, you're exactly what I've been looking for. And Lin Fan gets very shocked seeing this, and he is unable to understand what Ime wants to do. And Ime is saying to Lin Fan, actually, I'm into people like you. How about it? Didn't you already check me out? But Lin Fan pushes Ime away and says to her, wait. Hold on. What are you talking about? And Ime says to Lin Fan, oh, still playing innocent acts. Actually, I like men who say one thing and mean another. On the surface, they seem upright, but inside, my criteria for a partner are, first, they should be stronger than SE, second, I like someone a bit younger than me, and third, I don't like timid men. So, you fit my criteria perfectly. And because of being so close to Ime, Lin Fan's nose starts bleeding and he is thinking, even though I don't understand the situation, this woman seems to have a rather peculiar personality. Are all demon faction people like this? And Ime is saying to Lin Fan, so, are you interested in a forbidden romance between good and evil with me? And then the system says to Lin Fan, congratulations to the host for completing the system task. Ime's favorability plus 60. Current favorability 60, additional points bonus, 2,000. And hearing this Lin Fan becomes happy and he is thinking, wow, I didn't expect to complete the system task so unexpectedly. What a pleasant surprise. With a favorability score of 60, it seems this woman isn't lying. Oh no! I'm already in a relationship, please stop falling for me. No, I can't be a scumbag. I need to find a way to reject her politely. Then Lin Fan moves Ime away from him and says to her, Miss Ime, is there some misunderstanding between us? And Ime is saying to Lin Fan, misunderstanding? How could there be? If you weren't interested in me, why would you have done such things? Oh right, people from your immortal sect like to maintain a pretense. I don't mind that. After all, a little man like you might want to save face, but one day I'll make you fall for me. Acting aloof, right? Don't worry, I have plenty of time to play with you. But Lin Fan tells Ime, you don't come any closer. Even though I'm handsome and talented, I'm not that kind of person. I'm telling you, this is inappropriate. And Ime says to Lin Fan, Lin Fan, you don't need to be so anxious. I don't plan to do anything to you right now. But remember, I'm watching you. See you next time. And Ime starts leaving this place. And Lin Fan is thinking, why has this woman's attitude toward me changed so drastically in just a few days? Did something happen that I don't know about? And Ime is laughing and saying, Lin Fan is quite intriguing. With his talent, it would be a great asset if he could be persuaded to join our demonic faction. Since he has shown interest in me, I might as well use that to my advantage. Our sect's ancestors have had a long-standing grudge with Zhao Yanran. If we could corrupt Zhao Yanran's disciple, I wonder how she would react. Besides, as long as my Flitcher Dao companion is stronger than me, I can accept almost anything. And Lin Fan is saying, what is going on here? I have a feeling I'm really in big trouble. And then Zhao Yanran arrives at that place, who is very angry, and she says to Lin Fan, "My dear disciples, where are you going?" And Lin Fan gets very scared after seeing Zhao Yanran, and he thinks, "Oh no, could it be that I'm really in big trouble so soon?" And Lin Fan is talking to Zhao Yanran, "Yen. No, master. Master? Why are you here?" And Zhao Yanran angrily tells Lin Fan, "If I didn't come now, would you want me to wait until you've completely shamed me?" And Zhao Yanran catches Lin Fan. And Lin Fan is thinking, damn, does the master have such great powers that she saw everything that happened just now? This is bad, really bad. I might end up physically injured. I need to think of a way to save myself. And Lin Fan is telling Zhao Yanran, Master. I can explain. But Zhao Yanran does not want to listen to Lin Fan, and she directly punches Lin Fan in the stomach, due to which blood starts oozing out of his mouth. And Zhao Yanran is saying to Lin Fan, "Alright, I'll listen to your explanation, but first I need to calm down." And Lin Fan is very scared, and he is saying to Zhao Yanran, "No! Master, my fragile body can't handle your punishment. It might really be fatal." And Zhao Yanran says, "Stop with the excuses. I'll use only a fraction of my strength, don't worry, I won't kill you." And Zhao Yanran is beating Lin Fan very badly, and Lin Fan's body is destroyed. The sound of shouting can be heard. We then see Lin Fan, whose throat is swollen, saying to Zhao Yanran, "Kidneys! Yanran, you're being too harsh." And Zhao Yanran says, Be thankful that I'm leaving you with your life. I might overlook your flirting in the sect, but you went and messed with someone from the demonic faction, especially from the Night Demon sect." And Lin Fan tells Zhao Yanran, "It's a misunderstanding, it's a huge misunderstanding. I can explain." And Zhao Yanran says to Lin Fan, "You have 1 incense stick's worth of time. If you can't give me a satisfactory explanation, you have to face the consequences." And Lin Fan is thinking, thank God, Yanran hasn't completely lost her reason. And then Lin Fan says, "Here's what happened," a moment later. Zhao Yanran is saying, "So this is what happened, and you didn't know anything? Do you really think I'm a fool? I clearly heard that demoness say what you did to her." And Lin Fan cries and says, "So I'm wrong? There must be some misunderstanding here." And Zhao Yanran says, "Lin Fan doesn't seem to be lying. Alright, I'll make my own judgment." And Lin Fan does not understand what Zhao Yanran is doing. But Zhao Yanran asks him to keep quiet. And Zhao Yanran is checking Lin Fan's memory, and she is thinking, it looks like the only option is to use my powers to verify it. And Lin Fan is saying to Zhao Yanran, "Yanran? Master? What are you doing?" And Zhao Yanran is thinking, it seems I've really misunderstood Fanner. And Zhao Yanran says, "Alright, I believe you're innocent now." And then Lin Fan catches Zhao Yanran and says to her, "I knew Yanran would definitely believe me." And Zhao Yanran says, "Okay, this is not appropriate behavior in public. I understand now that it was all just a misunderstanding, so please don't be upset, okay? Speaking of which, you've actually managed to break through a new realm. You must have won the Immortal Demon competition and received benefits from the 2 masters, right?" And Lin Fan says happily, "Haha, you figured it out. What do you think? I've made fast progress, haven't I?" And Zhao Yanran says, "Yes, you've indeed improved rapidly, but reaching the next realm won't be that easy. If you want to catch up with me, you'll need to work even harder." And Lin Fan says, "I understand, Master." And Zhao Yanran says, Alright, stop being so cheeky, you naughty guy. I just traced some cause and effect from you and seem to see some unfavorable outcomes in the future. This Immortal Demon competition might not be as simple as you think. Be extra cautious. I can't always protect you." And Lin Fan says, "Unfavorable outcomes? What do you mean?" And Zhao Yanran says, "I'm not exactly sure. But at my level, premonitions are usually quite accurate. Better safe than sorry, so just be careful. Remember, you must ensure the safety of our Tianmen disciples, especially your Celis." And then the senior says to Zhao Yanran, as the founder of a sect, according to the rules, you're forbidden to enter in Lingxiao City. Leave immediately. So Zhao Yanran says, "Understood, Venerable One. My apologies for being impolite. I'll take my leave right away. Okay, I must go now. Remember what I told you. Then Zhao Yanran leaves this place. And the senior is saying, damn it, no wonder I, your lord, couldn't figure out why this kid's destiny in the immortal path is so unbelievably extraordinary. This kid really has some tricks up his sleeve, and he's quite popular with the women, just like I was back in my day. I like it. And then the scene shifts. And we see Lin Fan speaking to Jiping and Zhao Yuehua. So, apart from senior brother Chen and Linger, we actually have 3 people from Tianmen who made it through, and the little girl becomes silent. Then Zhao Yuehua says, besides us, there are 2 others from the immortal faction side. They are Yu Xiaoxiao from the Yuxian sect and Zhang Yuanfeng from the Daoxian sect. And Jiping says, speaking of that, Lin Fan, your energy is unstable. It seems like you're injured. What's going on? So Lin Fan says, this matter is not something you should not know, let's discuss the details of the upcoming finals. This round that goes from 15 to 5, how exactly will it work? And Zhao Yuehua says, the finals will naturally be in a competition format. In past Immortal Demon competitions, usually, 10 contestants would be selected, with matches held between pairs. But this time, 15 participants have been chosen for the finals, which is quite rare in the history of Immortal Demon competitions. I think this might be related to the recent rise of Tianmen and the Crimson Demon sect. Previously, there were only 7 sects on the demonic side and 9 on the immortal side. Now that Tianmen and the Crimson Demon sect have grown in power and qualified to participate in the Immortal Demon competition, naturally, more slots are needed, and Lin Fan says, yes, that makes sense. So, 15 contestants will be narrowed down to 5. Is it going to be that the weaker 10 will compete first, and then 5 will be selected to face the strongest 5? Interesting. And Zhao Yuehua says, I heard that the former 3rd rank on Heaven's chosen list was Zhuge Ling, the saint of the Qingyan sect. But unfortunately, she has fallen into the demonic path and cannot represent the righteous path in the competition. The current 3rd rank is Qin Lan from the Wei sect, who was originally 4th. She forcefully advanced her rank using medicinal pills, taking Zhuge Ling's place. But her foundation might not be as solid as ours, who broke through by absorbing the essence of the heavenly Tao. And Jiping says, Senior Sister Zhao, are you suggesting that this person will compete against us, the 9 who have absorbed the heavenly Tao's essence, in the first round? And Zhao Yuehua says, yes, I think that's likely. This way, the immortal faction will have a significant advantage in the first round, helping to balance the power disparity caused by Zhuge Ling's betrayal. I believe the 2 Grand Masters had this in mind when they made their decision. Then Lin Fan says, still, it's quite unexpected that 3 of least from Tianmen made it through the eliminations. Otherwise, even if the 2 Grand Masters had intended to balance the power, it wouldn't have been easy. You could say our presence has helped create the current balanced situation. And Qin Qifeng says, Junior brother Lin Fan makes a valid point. Regardless, our goals for participating in the Immortal Demon competition have been met. Whether in terms of reputation or in the improvement of our disciples' skills, we've far exceeded expectations. We can give a satisfactory report to the sect master. Since there's nothing left for Linger and me to do here, I'll take Linger back to the sect and wait for your good news. Then they start leaving from this place. And Lin Fan tells them to be careful while leaving. And he is thinking, Yanran said she has a bad feeling. Since senior brother Qin and Linger's cultivation is relatively weak, leaving this troublesome place is indeed a good thing at this time. Then we see Mei, who is getting very angry, and she is saying, what? Ing Tianqing, are you out of your mind? Are you saying we should all deliberately lose to the immortal faction? Then we see that there are many people sitting here. And Yi Mei is saying, you'd better give us a reasonable explanation. And Lian Wanqing says, Brother Ing, even though your heavenly demon sect is the leader of the demonic faction, you can't interfere with lease like this, can you? The result of the Immortal Demon competition concerns the ownership of the 10 great spirit realms and the ruins of Taishu. Handing them over to the immortal faction like this, isn't that? And Ing Tianqing says, hold your horses, everyone. And please listen to me. Handing over the 10 great spirit realms to others is just on the surface. As for who will be the ultimate winner, that's still uncertain. And Xue Wuhan says, Brothering, are you implying that your respected father's order has some deeper meaning? And a girl says, Oh, interesting. I would like to hear what your heavenly demon sect is planning. And Ing Tianqing says, That's right, my father's intent is to use this opportunity as a trigger to launch a full-scale war against the immortal faction. And everyone gets surprised after hearing this and they say, A full-scale war? The next day at Lingyun Peak, we see that Lin Fan is fighting with Xue Wuhan. And Lin Fan defeats Xue Wuhan very easily. And Lin Fan is very happy and he is saying, What, giving up so quickly? You must have some other trump card, right? Doesn't the Blood Demon sect have a secret method to enhance power in a short time? Xli Wuhan, why aren't you using it to fight me with all your strength? And Xue Wuhan says, Even if I go all out, I might not be your match. You have defeated Qi Jie and Wang Jiangxin. I'm not confident I can beat you. Besides, using the secret method would damage my essence too much. There's no need for a pointless display of bravery. Then the referee says, The winner is Lin Fan from the Tianmen sect. And Lin Fan says, You seem like a sensible person. After this, Jiping's fighter is with Ing Tianqing and Jiping throws Ing Tianqing out of the ring very easily, due to which Jiping wins and Jiping is thinking, Strange, why did he hold back at the last moment? With his strength, at least 100 moves should be no problem for him to spar with me. Yet he lost so easily? Could it be he was intimidated by this lady's aura of dominance? After this, Zhao Yuehua fights and that girl is in front of her, and the girl is thinking, although I'm supposed to go easy on you, if we're acting, it should be done thoroughly, I'll let you suffer a bit. Then Zhao Yuehua takes out her aura, due to which we see that the girl starts getting scared and she is saying, Impossible. My illusion. How could someone of the same level break it so quickly? And Zhao Yuehua says, Your illusion is indeed remarkable. If I hadn't obtained the true martial mind scripture and my Tao heart wasn't so refined, it might have been troublesome. Ultimate power of strength. And Zhao Yuehua moves forward to attack that girl, and that girl says, What? This punch actually contains a trace of the true meaning of the great Tao. She's just entered the great power realm, yet she's already comprehended her own Tao. How is that possible? And Zhao Yuehua defeats that girl very easily. And the referee declares Zhao Yuehua as the winner, which makes Zhao Yuehua happy and she says, It seems the martial arts of the Heart Demon sect are not much after all. Then we see not two characters, second on the Heavens Prodigy list, Zhou Yu of the Yin-Yang sect, and the girl is saying, Brother Jiang, it seems these Tianmen sect disciples are indeed something. Then we see another man, first on the Heavens Prodigy list, Jiang of the Supreme Immortal sect. And he says, Indeed. I've long heard that the Tianmen sect teaches without discrimination and that their disciples focus on experience. Although this method carries significant risk, it does produce remarkable talents. And the girl is saying, If a sect only provides shelter and neglects discipline, it may not be a good thing. In recent years, Tianmen sect disciples have offended many other immortal sects, seizing opportunities and interfering with other sects' internal affairs. Such actions don't seem in line with the conduct of the righteous. Then we see Lin Fan, who is very surprised and he is not able to understand what is going on here. And Yimei is talking to Senior, Your Excellency. You know, I was never a match for Lin Fan. Now that he has broken through to a higher realm, this match is meaningless. I choose to forfeit. And Senior says, I agree with that point. Do as you wish. And Yimei is thinking, Lin Fan, enjoy your moment of pride. With your Tianmen sect being protected by an Emperor Realm expert, you're a convenient pawn in our scheme. This is all part of the plan. Now, I'll sit back and watch the spectacle as the 8 great sects and Tianmen sect fight amongst themselves. After this, the little girl and Lian Wanqing fight, and Lian Wanqing attacks the girl, and the girl is saying, Lian Wanqing, why are your skills still stagnant? You won't be able to defeat me like this. And the girl defeats Lian Wanqing very easily, due to which Lian Wanqing accepts defeat. The girl wins. But Lian Wanqing is happy and in his mind he is calling the girl a fool. And in this way more fights go on and many people lose. And this man is saying, It's a pity, although you've cultivated the heavenly demon divine art to the 7th level, You can't fully control it and were struck by backlash. Otherwise, I might not be your match. Then we seeing Tianqing and he is smiling and thinking, Jiang, you wouldn't have guessed that I've fully mastered the 7th level of the Heavenly Demon Deviant Art, would you? I only used it just now to test if I had surpassed you. I didn't expect you'd almost not withstand it. I forcibly suppressed my power, resulting in internal injuries. Enjoy your pride while you can. Wanjian sect, the next day, and senior sister says, Junior sister, what brings you here? Has there been any new news from Lingxiao City? So junior sister says, yes, Jian has been defeated. Then senior sister says, defeated? In the fierce competition of the immortal demonic competition, it's not surprising to lose. It's just that his skills were inferior. This defeat might not be entirely bad, it's a chance for him to temper his nature and focus on cultivation. And hearing this, the junior sister gets shocked and she says, Senior sister, Jian was betrayed by someone. It wasn't due to inferior skills, and the senior sister says, what? Such a thing happened? Who was behind it? So the junior sister says, the matter is like this. Then the senior sister says, Jian Lanqing explained the whole situation clearly. And after listening to the whole thing, the senior sister gets angry, and she says, damn it! How dare the Tianmen sect make a move against my son? Have they forgotten that their chance to participate in the Celestial Demonic Tournament and gain a share of the spoils is only because of the great support from my Wanjian sect? This is simply outrageous, and junior sister says, Master, please calm your anger. There is one more thing I need to report. The Immortal Demonic competition ended yesterday. Our immortal faction has achieved a complete victory. However, the Tianmen sect must have used some despicable methods, as 3 of their disciples managed to win in the finals. And senior sister says, oh? A complete victory? How is that possible? Jiang has an innate Dao body, so his victory is no surprise to me. But for those 2 juniors from the demonic sect, Lian Wanqing and Yi Mei, both of whom have considerable strength, to also be defeated? And junior sister says, yes, I find it hard to believe as well. However, according to the traditional rules among the immortal sects, the ownership of the spiritual realms is determined by the sect with the greatest contribution in the immortal demonic competition. In this case, Tianmen would gain control over 6 spiritual realms and the Taishi ruins, which is absolutely unacceptable. And senior sister says, is this really true? Allowing Tianmen to participate in the immortal demonic tournament in the first place was entirely out of consideration for Zhao Yanran. I never expected the disciples of Tianmen to be so formidable. This was a miscalculation. Tianmen has only recently risen to prominence. Apart from Zhao Yanran, most of them are weaklings. Even if they contributed the most this time, they don't have the right to monopolize these resources. Moreover, no matter how powerful Zhao Yanran is, it won't be long before she ascends. We considered this point back then, which is why we gave her some face, to avoid offending an Emperor Realm expert. But with enough interests at stake, given the foundation we possess, an Emperor Realm expert, though troublesome, is not beyond our ability to handle. Surely, the other sects would not be pleased to see a new major sect rise to power and stand above them. And junior sister says, the master is absolutely right.